Check this out, man. This is on TikTok. Some streamer looking at, you know, Doge chart, and welcome to crypto. Basically, they're just this is a welcome. This is Doge is like welcome to crypto.
Dude, I'm refreshing my phone, but my money won't refresh. What just happened? Did a nuclear bomb go off somewhere? I'm confused.
It's an opportunity.
Okay, it's done. Point six.
BTC weekly.
Why is this happening?
Come on, break it. The ball plot right here.
Appreciate the 5, bro. I hear what you said.
Break ball plot, hit here and get out somewhere here.
Yeah, man. So it's basically just wrecking people.
This is gonna be market manipulation. I just put 20,000.
No,
I'm refreshing my phone, but my money won't refresh. What just happened? Did a nuclear bomb go off somewhere? I'm
No,
confused.
they always have shit tons of
It's an opportunity.
Okay, it's done. Point six.
No.
What is happening?
Why is this happening? Oh no. This is gonna be market manipulation. I just put 20,000.
Let me sell half. I hate the move like this.
Refreshing my phone, but my money won't refresh.
See, sell half right here.
manipulation, sir. This is actually this is daily crypto, man. It's like 20%. It's a job, man. It's how through it.
Okay, it's done. Point
Or
six.
stop buying tops. Stop buying tops. Stop buying tops. Or how through it.
Not so
I
up.
want to buy something. That's what I have. That's the decision I have to. You know, I'm buying top. All right, I'm gonna hold this. You know, you can't be expecting things to just go up and up and up and up. They should have been buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's hilarious, actually. Johnny Boy, thoughts on TRX, BTC weekly and daily. I got you, bro.
Look at SPR. It pumped like crazy.
You gotta be noob if you're doing that. I would never live stream to y'all me in a
That's a good breakout right here.
You know what I'm saying? Like
At 36.
that's first thing. You don't do that. You're gonna eventually lose and look realistic. That's why it's very hard to live stream gambling. I try that shit. It's hard to do, man. It's hard to justify losing money live on stream. So yeah, noobs are buying this, and Doge is gonna come down. It might do one more. I'll give it that. It might do one more.
SPR.
Sell more.
Try to hold right here.
More. You know what I'm saying? I got some more out here. Y'all want to put it again? Ren to $6. I mean, it could. Anything can go to $6, man.
Somebody pump SPR.
What's the best block to be able to get my cash out? Bitcoin,
Hey, Sohen.
then E.
Very good, Sohen.
Chart is very available too.
You hear me good? Clear?
Should be a lot of everything must always go up. That's hilarious.
SPR moving.
All right, so let's look at TRX BTC. Now I know a lot of y'all don't like TRX,
SRP,
but give it a chance.
AAVE.
If you're a blockchain user, if you do DeFi, maybe look into Tron, man. That's all I'm saying. Just maybe look into it. Soldier
Whoa,
Boy,
that's good.
he's on Tron now.
You know, I got in.
You know, we'll see.
I got 1,800 here.
They can pump my bags. Let me stop talking like that.
I get, what's that?
Watching it.
Ice cream.
You said on the weekly.
130,000 K.
I always get those two mixed up, man.
BTSC. So all.
Alright. Oh yeah, this one just broke
Yesterday.
the long-term resistance level. That's the hourly.
As 0.82.
Oh yeah, man. This shit. I mean, the trend is your friend. So this is a downtrend.
I got
But
all yesterday.
is this the bottom?
Look at this.
for these things versus Bitcoin, that's the hard part.
Look at this. See, it cannot break right there.
This is a
I still have
but it broke a part of this downtrend.
1,000 coin right here.
It broke this downtrend.
My
right
price
so it was going
is
down,
0.06
but it didn't stay above
right here. See, I just saw it.
on, like, you know, the hourly. It popped, but it didn't stay above.
I buy right here all the way down here a couple of days
Start
ago.
going up in there again. So we just gotta wait and see.
It's upload right now,
It's a
loading.
resistance level versus Bitcoin, like almost everything. Everything is at a very critical point versus Bitcoin. And it's like, are people gonna, you know, pump these alts? You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna pump these alts, or is Bitcoin about to get the shine? You know? What up, D? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to my old thumbnails because I see a lot of people today are like, "Oh yeah, I remember you, man." A lot of people recognize me, so I'm bringing the thumbnails back. Shout out to Ty Zen, man. He had me a shout out on Twitter, and he said, because they were picking on the thumbnails, the crypto influencer thumbnails, and Ty Zen called me the originator of the crazy thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
On YouTube way before me.
I don't trade GMC.
You have to get to 10 cents for me to make
It,
good money off of it.
At that time, I hold
Yeah,
BTE,
you wanna buy
BTSC.
Doge
That's
now,
why.
You know, let's see. I got Doge USD.
This is a good one. BT. Where's that BT?
Doge. What is this long time frame though? BTC. Man, I saw my last little bit right here. I was like, you know what?
BC, where
Doge always
BC?
comes back down to 16 Satoshis. I just bought it back. Because it always comes back down there. It's like...
I sold all yesterday right here.
In case they decide to pump this shit one more time. There goes BTC. You know?
I sold all. Lucky I got out all right here.
Doge, because I was looking at the USD chart. I had saw the Doge BTC chart and it was
I
like
sold all right
And
here.
then I looked again and it was up here. And thank God I did.
And here,
It was
lucky me.
so- And I went into Kebab.
I got in 2 days ago.
And that's up. Boom, boom. Let's see what Kebab. Let me check out before it started going down. Before I go check on it. Nice. Up 62% on Binance Chain. This thing has an extremely
Crazy, huh?
high APY. 1,600. This is very risky. This is very risky. But it's Doge profits. And I can just compound. So my plan is compound this or just lose.
trade.
I got in right here
Larry, with
2 days ago.
Appreciate it, bro.
Got one.
$1 trade. Oh man. That
I got 72, 71.
got a really nice ring to it, man. And your damn dono is yellow like gold, like a Bitcoin
I
cover.
got in here.
I don't know, man.
And I buy more right
Trey,
here.
He really likes crypto, man.
And I sold here all
He
yesterday.
found his passion. What up, McGill?
Make about 2,000, 1,800. 120, 135,000 share.
Soar. Never heard that one.
It's crazy.
Hey, bro, could I cop XRP on Robinhood? You don't want to do it like that, man. Just go ahead and get the real crypto. Robinhood ain't the real crypto, man. Get the actual blockchain XRP. Get the real XRP.
ES? Let me check ES. Okay.
Not some IOU value. Get it on crypto.com. That's a start. I mean, they own it, but it's the real XRP. You know, it's not really yours, but at least you could get it out. XRP crashed some. Yeah. But I'm thinking, I'm like, it's looking good.
Let's see ES.
I'm going, this my Hail Mary, this is like my Hail Mary bag.
Well, I just saw
I'm
it.
right here on this day, so I'm barely in profit. You know, it's like, I'm going to see what happens. I'm just going to see what happens.
Where
I don't
my
want
ES?
to sound like XRP, man. It's a long-term hold right here.
Right here. Come on.
See what it turns into. XRP locked on Robinhood. Yo, they tripping out there, man. Crypto, man. Y'all might as well get off of them exchanges and come on over. Come on over.
For swing, huh?
Let me teach you what.
Be careful.
You can exchange peer to peer.
I don't like it. It's on the.
Fucking Willie, walk out this bitch. Come on over here, bro.
Be careful.
Decentralized exchange, man. You don't have to deal with that stuff anymore.
This is the backside right here.
It'll be really soon.
I call this the backside.
XRP peer to peer.
Right here, 28. Whoa,
Just wait a few
it's
months.
too far from here.
Just wait a few months. You won't have to deal with
28.
those guys anymore. Come here, buddy.
Right here, another one.
When you want to
So
trade,
50.
man. Come here, man. We'll protect you over
So
here.
be careful.
The Robin Hoods.
What price you get in?
Where is a good place to get Doge after it dumps? A good
Saw
place
in-
to get
what-
Doge.
what price?
Everywhere. Doge is everywhere, man. Like, yeah, it's crazy y'all like this coin so hard to get, man.
What price you get in?
This wallet. You can get Atomic Wallet. You can get a bunch of them, but as far as getting them with cash,
Who butcher? What price you get in?
don't get,
SE.
don't get in with Bitcoin first. Get real Bitcoin somewhere where they're not gonna take it off, like Coinbase. You know,
Be careful, that's
get in
all.
that way. Then once you get your Bitcoin, send your Bitcoin to a Bitcoin wallet that got swap features. Just get Exodus, man. Shit, Exodus got them fees, but I mean,
Where my volume?
yeah, people they gotta.
I don't have value on this
they
one.
gotta get in and get for like a year, and then they'll be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Where am I?
Exodus, but they gonna do
ZRX.
stuff, though. You know, they're gonna take coins off like Doge. I got lucky with Doge, like that. I got in with those windows where it was available to swap, and I got it, and it went fast too.
Oh man, it's called down here. I don't like the look. Let's see, ERS.
Japan, like it's stuff like that, man. Like I said, you gotta make those mistakes, man. You gonna lose. They gonna lose their seed phrase, man. It's for certain types of people. You know what I'm saying? It's crypto. It's just like for certain types of people, man.
See my line
I
here,
see it,
20.
like, and I show it to like
It
my
cannot
friends,
hold.
I see how like some people just ain't gonna do it. They just not gonna do it, man. If you wanna do it, you're gonna find out where the hell you can get you some Doge. It's not.
I did
hard.
get out right here. Half.
Doge. Like I can see if you were asking me maybe about
SPR is so good, guys.
Chain. Even with those, I just say crypto.com. It's literally called crypto.com, man.
SRP, you see, if you buy it right here, 30 cents,
Genius.
you make almost,
Genius
whoa,
trading.
20 cents. If you got 20, if you had 2,000 in sale, you make almost $100 right there.
I have some, but I should buy some more.
No, more than that.
Just because
You make 2,000 right there. If you put 1,000, you can make 1,000 right there.
Like,
See,
if I'm gonna be promoting them anyway, I might as well buy some shares. Let's see, Pro BTC, Bitcoin, Matrix. I mean, oh yeah, they did y'all dirty, man. Damn, yeah, it's one of the most ugly. This is a big connection. That's what that look like. Yeah, so.
and look at Doc, see what happened.
Yeah,
Doc.
crypto.com.
People make a lot of money on Doc.
It's ugly. I bought some down here though. We'll see.
Doc, I don't have it. Binance only. See, I don't have Binance. That's the problem.
1-inch, fuck you. Voyager. I should sell some of this right here. I'm way up on this shit.
Look at
I don't know
Doc.
where
See,
they're at. Yo,
Crystal, you know,
back when it was MCO.
cryptocurrency.
That's
You can make a lot of money though.
So is it MCO? No. Okay. Just make sure. It's Crow now.
Yep, that 50 makes sense.
Crypto.com.
I know, Doc like crazy. It's have fun, you know. We can trade
That's why you want to
Bitcoin.
man, because you never know what's gonna turn into what.
Look at this. Sheesh. My system work by breakout and and take profit.
2017 is coming. I mean, all season. It's yeah. So there's this chart I talk about.
I just buy breakout. That's all.
It's like $5 a month.
This one this morning right here. I sleep at this time when I see it 62 start to go down.
53 right now.
Look at all the way down here.
We're at 53 on all season, so this is where I started getting.
When it breaks 60, 50, 61, 50, I'm out.
Like I got over 100 coins that I bought. If you go back into all my videos, you'll see.
Why you need to hold?
Most of them down here, I've been playing since then. When it gets up here, this is when I sell I quietly sell every one of my bags. That's what my plan is. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Let's see. What's a good wallet to have? It's like, damn, man, I need to.
Next week?
Sponsorship.
Let's see. Oh man, next week.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know. I like to trade BTSC.
I'm gonna make my own everything. That's what I'm gonna do. So
This one making good, If it go down to 55 cents, I'm buying.
I have a skin in Exodus wallet.
If this one go down to 5,
When you go to my Exodus, you can
just scoop in.
and have a picture of me in the background. Early. Doge bouncing off of 80 sats on 45-minute. Let's see.
You can buy 1 or 2 share GMC trading.
My advice is zoom out.
This still running, okay?
It might turn around.
Maybe try Nokia, maybe.
We're watching on 15 minutes. We're watching this right here.
They try to
What's up?
AG. They try to short squeeze silver right
Should I
now.
convert B6 to done with that shit?
The short squeeze silver right here. AG. Look at AG, guy. Next week maybe they play silver.
It's not the time. Just wait.
Look at silver or shipping company like CEI. Okay. CEIGRB.
Yeah, it was a couple
And,
of on there, and they took me off.
BLS something.
I was about to ask you that I had this thing I can't find. Yeah.
BLSC or something. BGRS. I think BG.
Biofinance. Everybody keeps saying that. I keep seeing that.
I forgot.
shirt. Oh,
GLBS.
this.
I think GLBS. Yeah.
Man, I got
Be
my-
careful with all marine.
This my,
And USEG.
You can't do it. You can't use it really, man. All the fees.
US.
Can't even do it.
Unless
Unless you already got, unless maybe you.
USGE or something like
I
that.
could do it if I went. You gotta go hard in the stuff for the fees to make sense.
UGSE.
On ETH, at least on ETH. On Binance, you don't have to go that hard. That's why.
I don't remember.
But yeah, man, if you in this, congratulations. I'm not buying this shit.
Okay, watch out, marine. Okay,
Just put the cost at XRP at $3. Fuck it.
watch out this. Look at GBR, crazy. Look at us. See,
Y'all be doing some stuff, man. You got
The CEI.
Yeah, I haven't said anything about
Look.
Cardano. Cardano has a lot of good stuff coming up, man.
all the shipping company and top.
It was looking good this morning. What happened?
Watch out.
It's pulling back. What happened? Guess it's just pulling back for no reason. Looking good.
See,
this
top
morning.
right there.
Like it want. Well, I mean, it's still looking good though. Like
I have 62 share NAK.
it wants to stay up
D.
here. So we have this is a new low, so that's kind of concerning.
Look at this one. I buy 60. I buy 63 cents. I sold 85, and then look at this. It go up to $3. See, crazy.
At least this morning.
And I got in here 207 yesterday. 50 share for watching, see what happened.
You know, especially when I'm looking at on Cardano. Just so I can be like,
Look
yeah,
at it, see.
but the
Be
BTC
careful.
chart is the real thing. I mean, I'll be happy with this too. I'm gonna break above that, but this is lower lows. So
This
now
one
it's
down
kinda-
here
yeah, you can't really
start to
mark
pop
that
up.
right now.
See morning, gap up,
See in Cardano.
go down. Gap up, go down. It's crazy. I don't know.
Big pump for Cardano in March.
This stuff,
I'm
I
going
don't
hard on
know.
Liquid. I'm going pretty hard. I plan to go pretty hard on liquid.
Okay, EA, too high the price. HKLZ, let's check it out. Oh yeah, CM, this one runs.
To over to high BSC about to
CTRM, that's I
Yeah,
like.
I think for the smaller folks who want somewhere that they can trust,
CTRM.
Binance chain.
This one I like. I tried a couple years ago.
Getting
This
over
can
the
run.
Binance chain, side chain or smart chain, whatever they call it. It's hard to get there, but once you're over there, you're like, yeah,
Yep.
this is gonna be.
See?
This is probably,
Go up, go down, go up, and then gap up all the time. Crazy. Got no idea this stuff can run.
You get all the logos and stuff. And
Just buy breakout, guy. Buy breakout.
dope. When it's easy to, when they maybe when MetaMask just puts Binance in there.
You see here the
like
chart?
by default, then it'll be dope. It's kind of like they hating on them a little bit. They should put the Binance node in there and
I
default.
just do like this. That's my setup right there.
On Doge, man, you might as well go ahead and give up on Doge, man.
This is my setup.
It might go up. Well, it might,
This one can go down. It look like 60% go down. Only 40 cent breakout.
From who knows where. Maybe
When it break out, I get in right here. That's all. This is
But
noise, all the
most
noise.
likely,
You don't make money on noise.
to where it always goes down to. Okay, so I'm gonna show you something. Okay, about Doge. This is a lesson I want you guys
Come
to know about
on.
Doge.
ZRC.
It always comes
I still
down
have
to
1,000
these.
coin right here.
This is what from 2021 all the way back to 2014. Okay, it always comes back to these lows back here. It makes lower. It makes new lows actually. Let's see. No, 15 sats, man. So Bitcoin is probably going to eventually whoop Doge's ass and bring it back down to here. Unless this is some new paradigm and we're gonna, close above here, get above 150 and keep pumping.
Come on, break out again. Look at this.
I have a bag. I have some cool. But to expect that, I wouldn't expect that. I would expect that was the top.
Yeah, we have to wait Monday. We don't know yet. We just react to the chart
For the next couple
on Monday.
months. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel about it. But this is not financial advice. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. They're for entertainment. Okay, so you don't want to do what I say, but this is from my experience.
Yeah, they're pretty hard.
Yeah, man, let it go down, man, so we can, then you can let it go down so you can buy them back at like 15 satoshis, and then they pump it again. And you sell them.
SRP, DRS, ETC.
Never touch Doge, man. It's easy. Doge is easy. It's probably the easiest coin to trade because it does the same thing over and over. Down, up, down, up. Once it starts getting above 100, sell that shit, man.
Come on, break out here.
Sell it. XRP prediction, XRP prediction, XRP prediction. All right, let's go and jump into XRP. All the XRP folks. I forgot I got XRP as a thumbnail, so we gotta talk about that XRP. Yeah, come on in. Everybody else about to leave. All right, man, this nigga. XRP is unbelievable. Like everybody was talking about XRP, man. Let's see what XRP is doing.
Come on, break out.
Like, man, XRP. Should I buy XRP? XRP and Doge, two coins that everybody wants to talk about. And they're old, so it's like, we know this. Why did XRP pump before? Yeah. Yeah, it's just because I talk about XRP already. XRP is regular shit. Now, XRP is going to be big, though. XRP is going to be big because where? It's going to be on Ethereum. So it's going to be just like buying.
Sorry.
So
All right, thank you, man.
for all of you who are in the are hip, what people are experiencing on Binance.
So what you have right now?
Is what they're going to experience with XRP.
Sorry.
That's basically what's.
You have your whole something? Swing trade?
Yeah, man. That's why I bought mine back. If I don't want to be feeling like XRP, you know, oh man, my soul about. I don't feel like that. Can we talk about how Elon trolling? I don't know if he's trolling, man. It's like a thing, like if you know, you know. I know. He put Bitcoin in his bio, so I know, man.
Good job trying to resist Coffee's all-informed fun. He had no respect for your intelligence or the genius of Richard Hart. Hex.
She actually screamed it. Appreciate the 5, Toby 1, Hexobi. Yeah, I think CoffeeZilla is a little bit ill-informed as far as Hex goes. I actually reached back out to him. I asked him, I said, hey man, Richard.
If you want to trade Bitcoin, trade this one, MSTR.
He reached out to me and said, hey man, can you see if he wants to let me on? I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically that's what he wanted me to do.
Look at this one.
So I hit up CoffeeZilla and I said, yo, Richard.
They have almost couple thousand
He's
Bitcoin.
never responded since then. It's like, so you mean tell me you're the scam exposer and you don't want to interview a person you just call a scammer? Like,
Look at this.
definitely check your DMs, bro. You need to check
2
your
days
DMs.
go from 500 go to a 600 something.
I think Coffee is scared of Richard. That's what I think.
Come on, ZRS.
If I was as unknowledgeable about X as Coffee is, I'd be scared too.
Or maybe short the market. See.
Yeah, all that shit's out in the
Look at his AARPs.
It's like,
Thoughts on
I'm
Lulu?
like, he gotta just not have read my message. I mean, I put him on blast, so let's see. Let me put my Twitter DM. Let's see. Coffee definitely, he hasn't said anything back. Richard asked me to reach out to you and see if you want to do an interview with him about X.
Look at this breakout. Fucking shit.
And then I hit him back. I did write him. I wrote him like 2 days later. I was like, Richard said you scared. he said you scared, bro. I ain't gonna show it for this show like other content and stuff on the sidebar. But yeah, bro, I think he might be scared. He ain't trying to shoot the one with Richard. He ain't trying to shoot the one. I'm still waiting on that big boy crypto interview with Coffee Film. I'm ready for all the smoke. I want all the smoke in the crypto. Alright, let's look at XRP. Alright, so XRP, it's in an uptrend right now. Boom.
Look at SRB market cap.
Trying to
Look at it go up to $23 billion.
Now this uptrend got broken with this. So it's still holding this higher low right here.
SRB market cap 23 billion.
There's BTC and some downtrend there. So I got a miracle bag of XRP.
Hey, what's up?
But I'm not gonna get too excited.
What's up, Elliot?
I'm gonna hold until there's a decision made though.
Man, last time we talked about,
Yeah, and I'll just dump if it's real bad news at the end.
yeah, I watching him, he's funny guy, Teleron Jam. He talk about SRP too.
They came back for XRP.
We talked about SRP long time, about 40 cents long time ago when it go down.
Everybody talking about that damn pump group.
Alec, when it go down, remember?
Who gonna pump it? They gonna pump X. What is it?
And it said don't touch it.
On the first. I think there was somebody
And wait for a breakout right now, it break out again.
Who was that? Someone better with $2. XRP has a pump group with 70,000 people. February 1st at 8 a.m. That's probably what I mean. That's probably not why it's pumping. It's probably pumping along. That's probably helping the news that there's a pump group.
So what you trading right now, Alec?
Yeah, Big Boy probably saw my interview was like, oh hell nah. Oh hell nah, I ain't going after that. That's funny as hell. What's up, Eugene?
Look at this C.
What's the pump group? I don't know.
Excuse me.
My bad's gonna move.
Yeah, 30 billion too high.
Like now I can just sit back, relax. My bags are packed. I'm ready to move.
I think we don't care about fundamental anyway.
My bags are packed, sir. Just wait for everybody to get here. Put my bags. What is software?
Yeah, remember him
Right now.
pumping Big Connect, something like that? You know, the bankruptcy, and he almost gone. A couple years ago about Big Connect, something like that.
I can tell. I can't lie though. I can't front. This boy grinding, but I don't like how he. I don't know if he's still doing it. So I ain't watching a lot of that DeFi stuff. He was showing every single thing. Man.
Yeah, EMC. Remember BB, BlackBerry. You know this one a lot. People short again right now. BB.
FOMO words most likely.
Okay. EMC. It's funny, huh? The market, you can make money if you know how to trade. I trade BTSC yesterday. Doing good on this one. I hold 3 or 4 days on BSC.
Give me something new, man.
BTSC.
Maybe 52 it.
Fucking shit.
What? And they got some volume too. Probably something.
This is a crazy one. I know when it's 3 cents only. Look at this.
Kebab. 0.
Look at it. I buy here and I buy 95,000 shares right here.
So me right
And then
now,
another 40,000 shares right here. So my average about 65. And I sold 82 yesterday. Crazy.
I feel the FOMO early. Like I'm not gonna buy this, but I'll look into it.
Good buy yet. Good sale yesterday, guy. Perfect sale.
Like a prey. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that, sir. Audited by, okay, it was audited, so it's inside firm liquidity control.
I know.
Merge residual liquidity.
Man, I have over 110,000 shares at 5 cents. It's hurt, man. Over $10,000 difference right there.
Tokenomics. Nothing. Am I that early?
So Bitcoin still go, okay? So don't worry about it.
Slow.
Look at this.
All right, define soar. You know, I just want to see tokenomics. Thanks.
The XRP pump admins will dump a y'all after the 2X.
XRP pump at. Okay, I'll get
Look at it right now.
The Galileo Uber.
I sold all the way right here. She, right here, exactly.
Right.
Look at it, I sold right here.
That's my job. Don't go to pump. You might make some money. You might lose a lot too. So don't. You ain't gotta do that, man. Just subscribe.
Yep.
To me and
Yeah, because yesterday it pumped.
you'll.
So I get out when he
Let me
pumped.
take those L's, bro. I'll take those L's.
I wake up at 6 o'clock in California. It pumped. It pumped, and then I get out perfectly.
No tokenomics. Liquidity pools.
BTCS good too.
Aggregators, Okay, so it's first one's yield generated mechanism that applies a 1% fee on every transfer into the it's an hourglass. This is the easiest form of staking that exists today.
Look exactly what I sell. See it. Look at this. It's perfect sale. You know. Maybe on Monday go to $15. Okay, I make my money already. I sell exactly right here. Look at that, I sell.
There's no.
I sell here, almost 100,000 share.
Oh, okay. I'll register it. Okay, that's cool.
I sell here, and I sell here. I have 100,000 share all here.
Okay, so
And I sell right here
about this
another 20,
is
15,
What happens if it's dead?
15,000 share right here, 55.
You know. So this is something that if I see a lot of.
And I sold all right here. Let's see.
Then I would go in because it means going to be a lot of people moving around. Because you're going to
See 7 cent here, that's the support. And I sold all right here, 70 cent. Another 20,000 share right there.
What they talking about in there?
Good, huh?
1,000. Yeah, it's not that many people talking. It's too early. And I've seen it a million times. Loop ring.
Yep, perfect trade yesterday. 130,000 share, sell here, or 100,000 share.
But it was probably up already. Yeah, this was when I saw this, when I was buying altcoins, it had already made its run up.
It's everything technical, guys. Don't listen to fundamental.
I don't want to buy something that's up there.
Okay?
Already. I want to
Forget about fundamental, technical only. Look at GE.
Doge.
All the Wall Street talk about fundamental.
That's funny. So
Who care?
it's looking good.
Who care all the fundamental?
You got them in there. It's loop ring, bro. It's
Everything technical.
$2, man.
Follow the money. Show me your money.
Don't run out of loop ring until it's above $2.
You know?
You know what I mean?
Everything.
These videos are for entertainment purposes only.
Where did chart go?
Yeah, coin market cap. Yeah, that's fake. Trade when you load up on the big bets coins.
Look at the chart cannot run.
Like Uniswap. I got my Uniswap.
GME
for free.
cannot run.
So no, I already have Uniswap. 1 inch, no, it's up too much. I'll miss out. But I'm playing a different game. Like I'm playing a very.
Okay, AMC, look at this.
I'm playing bougie. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not buying nothing that's up, bro. No. I'm being cheap too. Like.
Alex, just buy breakout, huh? It's working.
I'll buy it like when it's not going up.
Buy breakout, but don't chasing. This one chasing, very hard to trade right there.
I'll put this on my watch list.
Very hard to trade when it break gap up like this.
What is it? 1 inch.
It's good to buy right here. Check out Lucky Rand. What's that?
I put this on here,
LN.
I see it down for like the week.
What did the symbol break?
Then I might get some.
Tell me Lucky Rand from Chinese Starbucks.
Only one. Create a membership. Yeah, you'll get this watch list. You can find
SV,
this watch list.
I know, SVG too.
So if you want to see it, because this changes every day. Every day I add and remove coins. These are
Yep,
just
trust the
coins I
chart.
buy or I'm
Buy
interested
breakout, wrong get out, that's all.
Poker bridge,
Just do one setup only.
glitch, not doing
Do you
it.
want a no FOMO?
I want to
If
find
you're
out
FOMO
if
problem.
I will be about to buy because they're down the most.
Just do one setup only and good at.
But it's
You don't need to do a lot of setup, okay?
It's like I gotta check in on glitch.
Let's see,
I
SV,
mean,
do I have
I already have
SVG?
glitch, though. I don't have any PBR. This is a new one.
Let's see, SVG.
I just bought this one a couple days, like at 114. You know, I'll hold it.
Trust the chart, right?
At least I'm buying it down.
SVR, SVG.
Flow, like I'm gonna just miss out on that. I might as well just go ahead and remove flow. Like I'm not
What's
gonna
it, G? What you talking about? Bitcoin, right?
I'm not willing to chase that shit down and go through KYC and zero.
Yep,
I don't know. I
18
might-
cent. 18.
So I'm gonna take this one off.
118.
Reef. I think it's legit. I think it's gonna be on Polkadot too.
I think right now all altcoins start to move. So watch out all altcoin. Altcoin guy.
How you become members? There's a join button
Right here.
right under the video.
Just little 19, 20 cent right here.
Button. Just go to my channel and go to the I think it's
See right here,
tab.
all I like between here and here,
10? What's that?
right here.
What is the best exchange with no KYC? Simpleswap.io.
Yep. It's a fake breakout right here, and see what happened. See, you guys see, I don't use a lot indicator. I do my own indicator right here.
ENJ, GRT. Yeah, those are good too. If you have them.
See, I do my own indicator. This is a perfect breakout right here
Anything that's up.
at 13 cent right here,
I'll say
13.50,
they're good when they're up.
and you will just make money right here. That's all.
Birds pulling back.
You know, the whole year there's an opportunity right here. We get in exactly the opportunity.
Pulling back. That is due.
You know, you make money on this candle only.
So maybe, yeah, Asian.
This day here,
I have some.
you see right there, guy.
20% for the week.
Why we so lucky? Because we ready.
No, like.
We work so hard. We're learning. So luck coming. We wait for this right here.
If they're gonna appreciate.
Luck not coming. We have to build it. We have to work hard, and then it come.
Because I'm looking at this right here.
You see right here when you see it right here.
My plan is to
You see
get
the
out
line?
when this
Right
is
there.
ready,
See
which
this right
now,
here.
Like also the
This one is 5-minute chart.
that's when I want to get out of alts.
Look at this. See, you get in right here.
Appreciate the membership. Enjoy the bonus content on the community tab.
Get in right here. Perfect right here. 13 cent.
On there too. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I noticed that once it crosses 50,
Really?
it's pretty much
How heavy your bet?
going.
What price? What price do you bet? Alec, tell me what price you get in.
You know, this is the only time, maybe right here.
I think you buy at the deep and then it go deeper, right?
I get down there.
You have to buy breakout.
But overall, it goes to the red. You know, so hold them until they get up there. Even if we go up to like right here in the orange and then come
See
back
this
down,
line here, we
I'm
need to
gonna
clear
keep
this
on.
line raw again.
That's my
And
plan.
remove this
I
line.
don't know if that's
Because
gonna
when
work.
you
We'll
see
So
5
far,
minute
it was right
difference.
to get out of Bitcoin down here. That was the right move. So far I'm
See,
right.
if me, I draw this line right here.
We gonna hold that down though. We don't
Okay.
talk too much about that.
And then one more line.
Once these all see new highs, secure the Bitcoin, yeah.
See, I draw one more line right here.
That's a
Let's
good way
see.
to look at it. So you're saying new highs versus USD or new highs versus
I like
USD?
resistance. I love to watch the resistance and break out right here. This is perfect right here.
Can you look at Galaxy Defy
It's so clear
GLX
right here.
$103
Resistant, resistant.
on Dex Fools, thanks, sirs.
Resistance at 14 cent.
Galaxy D5,
And when it break,
let's see.
right here, perfect.
GL.
Don't make it complicated. Draw a very simple chart. Break out, get in. That's all. Oh, you got 60 cent. That's a lot. Oh, you talk about 0.6 or what?
Let's see.
Not 60 cent, Saturday.
Probably.
Or 60, all the way down here. That's good. See?
Let's look at this one.
Yep.
$3, yeah, this is it. 367, yep.
Because at Yukon Bay, they don't have this, so, you know. I have Binance too. I have to put money on my Binance.
Okay, not really. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
That's good, man. Alec, I think trade Bitcoin fun.
Farm. Must have been something farm. This looks like a farm. I want to getting the alts at a retest on 25 on the 25 on that chart. Anyone want to demo me? Shut the fuck up. Anyone else still holding DMT? I am. That might be a good or a bad thing though. But to it out. Will those go high? I would say I wouldn't count on it. Not from here.
Look at this. See,
I think it
if
just
this
went
guy
high.
got down here,
It
11.
went high, man.
I told you got 1150, but I don't do it. Look at this. Exactly.
BTC sideways to check my
Let's see.
portfolio after a year, and it's
11. I'm out.
Wow. You
If
just
one
checked your
collab
portfolio.
right here, I'm out. So
Oh, you said BTC sideways. Oh, I got you. Yeah, it's going sideways right now. So why Doge down? Sellers, bag holders, people that know
bad holder.
what's up. Know the difference between trends and pumps if you're new to crypto. True. Yeah, you got a unique swap tattoo. Oh man, I want to do that. Those went up way too high for it not to, for it not to come down. Acro? No, I never got Acro. Let me check it. Let's see what that looks like. I remember that though. It's up 1,700%. Should buy down here, but it's happening to buy when I see like this right here. It's like maybe to roll over back down there. So not again this
Thoughts on index
It's
buying
better
of
stuff for me to
NTX
buy.
up 40 today.
Thoughts on index finance up 40%. Nice. You know what's crazy? I'm mining that.
SET.
Index. Hold up.
USB. Let's see.
I mean, I didn't forget, but I forgot I was farming index. Because I bought the D55 and they were up. So I'm just farming this. I probably need to farm jack shit. But I can't check it every day because it's eat, so I don't have that much in it. So I'm just farming just to.
Oh,
Sweep it up. Stay. Let's see. Which one? How do I do it? Oh, I earned 6.7. That's more than I thought. Claim. Let's see how much. $22. No. But these are how much? 6. Huh. It's not bad for a couple days. And it's in an uptrend. Yeah. We'll hold on to that one. Yeah, Acro is good, but it's like it don't jump out and maybe you want to get some, you know? Like some of them, that's just how I am right now. Cause I already have a ton of coins, and I'm already like running low on like crypto funds to buy. So I have to wait, and now I'm at the point where I have to wait a few days. Thankfully, like Doge pumps, so I got to get me a bag of kebab. And I went TRX into pancake. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and like these. Let's go ahead and harvest these and switch networks. So I'm gonna compound Slightly over, this is new, slightly over $13 million worth of liquidity stake in finance law. Thanks to a lot of legal investment back. 13 million. What's up, though? Like that APY and the fact that it's on Binance is like so early. I'll go in the red with these two free coins. But they're doing good though. Trade how to prepare for market crash. Crash as far as what? Like what market? So cheap. I don't know, man. They don't weirdo, but I like the cheap blockchains, man. I like Binance, I like Tron. You know, I like the cheap ones.
The 5 from NPX is up 23.
D55 from NPX is up 23. Yeah, I see that in my portfolio. I don't have that many though. So yo, do a video on BSC. Alright, yeah. I'll probably do it on my DeFi channel. I'll try to get to it today. And then Chris kind of knows it too. I mean, the inflation is crazy on this. But yeah, I'm compounding. I'm gonna compound. These, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So these are $8. Wait, where? Let's see. Let's see how much they are now. Around just like crash. 788. I got mine like 570. You know? And I'm compounding, so as long as it stays up here and I can secure a bag. Nah. Stick to one crypto? No. That is the absolute worst way to do it. You stick to one crypto, you're gonna end up losing your money because you know what you're gonna do. Your bag's gonna just be sitting there and everything's gonna be pumping. And you're gonna sell that bag for something that's pumping, it's gonna dump and you're gonna sell it and then your bag's gonna start pumping, you're gonna buy it back, and you're just gonna get whipsawed and you're gonna lose everything. Trying to hold one coin. You should diversify. Weekly. Come new. And at the right time though. Right now, like
$KBTC Klondike. Finance, check that out trade.
I feel it. KBTC Klondike.finance. KBTC. Now, let's see. Yeah, this is looking kind of weak. Oh, nah, I don't do stuff like this. 5 coins. Nah. Appreciate the 5 though. Should I sell Doge now? Depends on where you bought them at, man. I told you that shit going down. Like, it's like, you might be selling the bottom here. So, you might not be. But you're on support. You don't want to sell, you don't necessarily want to sell into support. See, this is a support. Boom. You don't want to sell here. If you want to sell somewhere and you're scared, sell here. I know it's hard to wait. But you gotta have a ball. Excuse me, the ball to jump out at this resistance. You know? That's what I've learned. So I sold my Doge right here. And then I woke up, then I sold more, right? Then I woke this morning, and I was like, you know what? Like right here. Like, you know what? I'm really ain't got this. And then sell all. I still didn't sell all of them. I still have a decent sized bag of them just in case it pumps some more. But we're gonna sell those. Don't sell all of them, but sell enough. Like sell enough to where you say, okay, if this pumps to $1 tomorrow, how much would my little bag of those be worth? And that should get you happy. And then you sell that. 5 coins, but they farm. So we should buy Doge. I mean, yeah, if you're trading, but I wouldn't buy Doge, man. I would not recommend buying Doge. Yeah, like, you gotta look at the Doge chart from a high time frame, and you can see what's going on. Like, I kind of feel for you because I understand. I've been there, but you gotta know. Very, very, very high chance. The trend is your friend. This is what I say a lot. The trend is your friend, right? So you want to respect your friend. The trend says that Doge comes down here and it pumps up to about 100 Satoshis. As you see, it's less and less chart or candlesticks up here at this 100 area. And not many times, 1, 2, 3 did it go to like 150. Only 3 times. So the trend says if it's up here, this is a very rare opportunity. You may never sell Doge this high again. So, once I seen that and realized that, I sold some Doge, right? And then I started thinking, well, damn, now I look down, I'm like, well, Doge always comes down to these levels. I might as well sell more and maybe keep a little back just in case this is the start of a huge uptrend, which is totally it's probably not. Like, look at this wick, man. It's gotta go right now. Like, today, the end of today, this right here needs to break the. It's gotta go. ASAP. And you got more bearish, as more and more bearish things start happening.
Come on, break out.
It's downtrending, it's getting under the in between the moving averages on higher time frames. Right, it doesn't look good. But if you're in the red, I don't know, man. I think you just learned the lesson, man. I say, if you bought Doge, what you should do, man.
What the heck? That's
you should go ahead. If you bought Doge in here, you should go ahead and sell it. Take the L and learn whether it pumps or dumps. Learn the lesson. Because you're going to learn a lesson either way. What you're going to learn if it pumps is, damn, I should have kept some. Or, oh, I'm glad I kept some. Or, damn, I sold all of them. If it goes down, you're like, you're happy. You're right. So you're going to learn something either way. If it dumps, you're going to learn it I'm right. People that won't sell are the problem, right? Like, let it go, let it go. It's going down for a while. No, no stars. Like, look at this shit, man. It always comes down there. It always comes back down there, man. Like, it was probably just as hard to sell this right here, man. It was just as hard to sell this, but it was up higher than it really ever has been. And that was first time to get out. And buy it back here. 15 Satoshis, man. That's the sweet spot. 20 to 15 Satoshis. Oh, man. Get you some Doge, man. It's the easiest trade. One of the easiest ones. If you want to have fun, just trade. Just keep up with Doge. You'll make a lot of Bitcoin. Just trade Doge. I might just start doing that. that might be how I ride out on crypto. I trade Doge. What's Doge at? Oh, it's 915 Satoshi shit? Alright. Let's set some orders on some good exchanges. What happened with Ripple? Let's see. It's dumping. It's dumping. Yeah, I probably should have sold some, but I'm not in enough profit on it to sell something just go ahead and hold. It's not enough. No, I didn't hodl FOMO. I didn't FOMO panic sell, FOMO rebuy XRP to sell for a 30% gain. No, thank you. I'm taking this shit to zero or $35, whichever one comes first. I'm not selling one single XRP to like $1. Or if the SEC has very bad news for me. Most people buy high sell low because of those CTs who don't know shit about crypto and sad. Yeah, if you watch me, you'll notice like if I'm
Just need to break right here.
I might be kind of like chilling a little bit, but I try to hold back because I have some. And I see, and that means that I think it's going up. If I have something, I think it's going up, so it's kind of hard for me to be unbiased there. But as far as like, when something's going up, I do not ever recommend buying something unless I know for sure it's about to break out. And I'm usually right. Like even what was the last one that I said was about to go up? GRT. I remember the other day GRT was like on this bottom, and I wanted to buy it, but I didn't do it. And I almost went up on everybody to like, I'll buy this today. Who knew where that was at? It's probably like right here. 21st, yeah, probably around back here. Oh, no, that's the album. Oh, I'm curious, my bad, y'all. I'm curious. No, it's back here. Yep. This is where, oh yeah, it was January 11th. Should have bought more. I got some, but should have bought more. Damn. It looks good too. If you had to guess what BTC hit 31st or 40K, right? That's funny. Oh, nah. Hit 30K first or 40K first. It's a good question. It's a good question. We right there at the decision. I don't know. If you had a single dollar, which alt would you grab today? So far from what I've seen today, because I haven't really thought of anything to buy today. Like usually that's what I get from my streams. Like I'm gonna look into that or do some of that. You're asking me about me. You know what I'm saying? You're asking me. Let's see how it looks. I bought a few. I should buy some. Let's see. I don't know what I'll buy today. I would just
Dollar
continue
meat
to
bucket
watch.
for boy.
Mean. I'll take the for the two. Oh yes, that NFT coin I never got. This and Ferrari, I wanted this and Ferrari at one point, but I never bought them. Looks good. Let's look at versus East though. Yeah, that's still time versus East. Yeah, I'm curious what they got going on. So what you farming NFTs or some shit? Yeah, I'm really like not taking NFTs serious for a couple of reasons. Like they've been around, NFTs have been around a while, so and they always seem to like just end up being nothing. I think we're going into a bubble of people people learning about the stuff and then learning the lesson. So these things, yeah. NFTs, I think they still have a long way to go though. I mean, I see the value, but still don't see why I want to buy an NFT. I mean, I guess to speculate on what the future's going to be like, but what's making any of these NFTs special? You know what I'm saying? That's what my question is. What makes this one special other than it's pretty? You know what I'm saying? Now, if someone famous or a real artist that I know started painting NFTs, and then maybe I might get a couple. But just random people on the internet making NFTs, ain't gonna be nobody. Who are you? You ain't nobody. What I want you? It's just another NFT token. So that's how I feel about NFTs. I got mixed feelings about them. Music looks good though. Music is good bet. If they're still doing anything. Why is Doge dumping supply and demand? You have to guess, will the SEC back down? My bet says that they're not going to back down. They're going to be like, all right, y'all ready. And this shit going to come. That's my bet. Is it going to happen? Well, that's my bet. I'm slapping the table. Because I just, the evidence I've seen with Brad Garlinghouse and him talking, who he talks to, and who he's associated with, I just don't see that being, I don't see it playing out in a bad way for him. Rick and Morty got made an NFT soul setup. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But, just some guy that you know who he is, an honest guy on the internet making NFTs, and you buying that shit. For a Top Shot card, that's another one. I just don't like how difficult it is to use. And you think shit had 800% pump and still going. No, it's a pump, 800% pump. I don't want to see that stuff that much. I missed out. I don't want to see something I missed out on. Yeah, that's what you got to do about NFTs. Like, who's gonna buy this from me? For one, you're buying it from somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're buying the NFT. Not only are you someone bought it from the creator. That makes sense. But to buy it from someone who has it, to say, I'm gonna pay you for that. Why would you do that? Unless it's created by someone. Like I said, unless it's created by someone who's in high demand, it's gonna be hard to buy those things. They're going to put out the change on. This is a new administration. They have a WSD crisis. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't want to get too political, but yeah, man, that's I didn't even look at it like that. Yeah, new administration, man. And WSB, that is some Trump shit. Even the little dude look like a little boy Trump. That's interesting. I don't want to get too political though. And he was all about the market and the market doing great. Core Vault, yeah, I never got into that one either. It's a couple things I missed out on. Finally got that one. Finally got guaranteed utility stuff. I know that. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a quick light spike as we go into the final segment of today, which doesn't really change much. It's just that I need to take my medications. We have some chemtrails in the sky there. If you guys believe in that conspiracy theory, you got some chemtrails in the sky. So over Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Let's go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't already hit the like button, go ahead and do so. Please. It's just for the YouTube algorithm. You know, I don't really care, but YouTube cares, so they help me out. They'll make YouTube like me. Show us your watch list. I'll show it to you, but you can see it whenever for $5 a month. I change it every day. Really, $2 a month. You can get access to it. Walk the cat. When did you buy Bondly? That's a good question. I'll take a look. I'm probably barely in the broker limit though. Let's see. I think I bought it kind of high. But that's what I do, man. I buy things. If I buy something high, sometimes I might sell it, or if I'm really confident. If I'm not confident, I might take the L on it as it starts coming down. But if I'm confident, I'll hide through it. Yeah, Bondly is down. I'm up 3% on Bondly. I bought it December 14th. We got one person walking out on the beach today. One fellow walking up to the basically supposed to have a take a little break. Pulling out his jacket. All right. Bixler go. That Mike the Mug. All right, we're back. XC9, yeah, I got some XC9. He thinks about life and what Doge did to him. Oh, that's funny. Ops to buy. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. The ones that are down. Check the ones that are down. That's what I would do today. You know, see which ones, you know, Doge. Maybe for a trade on Doge, it might bounce. But, you know, I wouldn't model Doge from here. Don't hodl Doge from here, yo. Let's just put it like that. Verge. On that, let's see what it looks like on a higher time frame. Verge to OG. And it's up. So, you know, going back, maybe that's the, you know, you kind of want to buy a breakout of this in the bull market. You don't want to buy these because you have to sit through all this, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to sit through this because you'll be itching to sell. You want to like try and wait till it starts going up. Yeah, so see if it chills over, chills to the right. Don't forget about it. That's just first though. Something that's down. That's what I would buy. Engine, Tron. Somebody asked about Tron. What do you think? Everybody talking about the first XRP pump on first. We'll do some research on this tonight. Let's see. Let's do some research. XRP. That one. There it is. XRP pump on Monday. Spread the word. Is it real? 2 days ago. See, I keep pump on very first, so it's something so I wake up on this money. It's going over to other coin buying, then I might have to keep pumping through there. He's right though. So yeah, come over, pump this bag. It's also one of my bags. It's now XRP. We're going off that bag next. We're gonna pump trades. We're gonna pump another one of the trade bags. This time we're gonna pump XRP. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. A day ago, let's see. Today's the 30th. My a link to the group. Let's see. All right. Let's go take a peek into the, what is it? Attention, you are entering this group at your own risk. It's the first thing you gotta say. That's the first thing out of your mouth. Damn. What damn? Oh. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. You are entering this group at your own risk. Losses. I mean, yeah, I feel you. A lot of people joining. 427. Breaking news. Can we got some more? Oh, I see what we doing. That's what we doing, man. That's what we doing, man. Oh man, you guys stay real low out here. I mean, that won't last though. Cause here's the thing. This is the thing about being a YouTuber and promoting. I'm enjoying this though. It's a bunch of folks. You know, man. I got a raise RP. I ain't hating. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. I'll be careful with this. Yeah, right. They really,
Okay, alright.
Oh shit. We gonna just do that? We just, hey. February 1st, XRP. Oh, so we chain coined it. Where OG's at? So we just chain coined it. I need to start a new stream. We need to start this whole stream over. What's tomorrow, Sunday? I'm doing a podcast tomorrow. No promises. They want to do a podcast. We're gonna do a podcast. I'll do a podcast or a live stream. That's tough. I should do a podcast or live stream tomorrow. I want to do podcasts on Sundays. I want to just go ahead and start a trend because I keep on saying, next Sunday I'll start a trend. I'll start the podcast. But I'm making them entertaining. Get Cam to come edit. Feel me? Alright. I'll probably go live Monday. Monday is at 8:30 a.m. I'll be late, but let me see. Just start playing with Dad February 2nd. Like, damn, that's what we doing? Like, yo, alright, yo, I got 5,000 subs. XRP pump. Yeah, okay. Ooh, I got a bomb ass idea. Let me write this down real quick. You gotta do something that don't have a lot of bad odors. And it gotta be a coin that's everywhere. XRP is a really good coin to do it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because it's crypto. Like, so it's like all the rules are different. Missing out like this. The price going down. price coming down. I hate that. Too many charts. I think when I get done with the 1 minute chart, I'm gonna start closing up. 15-minute chart, I'll leave it open. Close them up because I'll be having to figure out which one. I know that's the weekly, the daily, that's 2 days. That's cool though. Alright, XRP. Oh yeah, little bounce. I don't think it's I'm looking at roll over. But it's a bull market, it's a treasure trade. But got a lot of resistance, man. Like, and you gonna try to pump XR, like, damn, that's kind of not even smart though. XRP, right? All that FUD XRP got. If YouTube was having enough viewers, they can pump low cap coins. I made 2,500 off of $50 from Pat coin. Oh man, that's an old one. Where is the dash pump intel coming from? Hold up, they talking about dash pump? Man, so y'all really just gonna pump all my bags? That's really what we about to do? There's a dash pump? You say? Dash pump, you say? Sensation. XRP, new candle. Zero plumbing. Yep. I was gonna buy some Zero, but you know. Yeah, where the volume at? Where the volume at? Oh, there's bit for next. Yeah. Let's see where Zero is at. Let's see. You got time. I need to FOMO into this versus Bitcoin. It's got some work to do. Unless it's just gonna pump straight through here. I don't think so. Who said something about, oh, there's a dash pump right now? Hold up. You got me excited. And you want to know what happened to Doge? It's over, man.
Wow.
I'm gonna type it in. Let me see, because I want to know the truth. Damn, type of dash. Very. Nothing for that, so that must be just some bullshit from my talk. Monday XRP $12.
Oh, bro. Nice.
I need someone to bet crypto. Wink. Go to wink.org. You can bet on sports over there, I think. XRP pump group getting bigger. That shit's swelling up. But you know, Telegram is heavily bodied, man. So it's like you gotta think about all things, man. Look at the names. Mogs, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't start seeing no creative, like there goes somebody, what's this? Already let him, the fuck, he's getting shout outs. Oh, it's him. He should be on some clubhouse. Like, what the fuck questions y'all answer? Like, come on, man. I guess what is XRP? Like, it's like, I don't know how I feel about this shit. Like, if y'all ain't about to pump this shit to $500, get the fuck out of my space, yo.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't about to pump XRP to fucking $500, get the fuck out of here. Y'all just making noise and not doing shit. If y'all gonna pump this shit to fucking 50 cents and talk about y'all pump some shit, get the fuck out of here. Trash garbage. That's how I'm feeling right now. I feel like it's an infiltration of people that don't even know shit. So maybe they are crypto. Give me the info on both of that. I think it's gonna be a thing later this year, man. It's together. I mean, it's a lot of. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where, as you know, keep that to myself. Shout out to everybody. The noobs are coming. Get ready to be irritated. You know what I'm saying? Get ready to be irritated. That's it. So just have fun. Just have fun with it.
Oh, God.
Like, but you can see a lot of people that's gonna get wrecked though. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people that be selling low, selling dips. Fucking bombs exploding and shit. That's what I'm like, oh man. This needs to happen, sir. It needs to happen. Now I understand, like, the OGs above me who was in crypto before me. Now I see why they are so funny and so laughable about this shit, because it's really, like, pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? It's really pretty simple how you play the game. But it takes so long for you to really learn and find it out. Yeah, dumb money alert. How much is it? Like, this is what I'm saying, like, this is really, really bullish. This type of behavior is really, really bullish. But,
Get out of here.
You don't know how, if they don't pump it high,
Okay.
then it's not really, it's too much sell pressure. If this many people can't pump these coins, like, this is like kind of crazy right here.
Oh, bro.
I've never seen Telegram grow this fast. I mean, I haven't really been looking around for shit like this, but if this is them WSB motherfuckers, then this shit about to go crazy, yo. And I think what I'm about to do is I'm about to be real quiet about what I got. That's what I'm thinking. Because I started talking about how I got XRP and stuff like that. It's going to put sell pressure. You know, I'm going to put sell pressure in this shit. So, yeah. Hey, y'all going to XRP? Oh, man. Trying to fit in and shit. What's the cash out what's the plan to cash out XRP everything locked? Let's see. Let's see, let's go to exchange. Yeah, everything is locked. See, XRP, see, Bitcoin.
What's the plan to cash out XRP? Everything locked.
Cash out right here. I sell some Bitcoin. I send the Bitcoin to where I want to cash out at. You've been doing it this way for thousands of years. Like, it's not hard. Like, do that. It's easy, man. Now, they might take it offline. You know, you gonna get a shitty rate, too. But if it's pumping crazy, you're gonna still get a good deal if you sell it into a huge pump. So, just like with Doge, it was unavailable, and it would come on, and I would sell. I still sold way higher than where I bought it. We've been doing it this way for thousands of years. So it's like, as long as they don't lock down Bitcoin, let's get it. Let's get it in.
There, bro.
Cash out in Bitcoin. Yeah, cash out to Bitcoin and then sell the Bitcoin for dollars if that's what you want to do. You know, I wouldn't just put it in dollars to like cash out the Bitcoin when I need it. Or a physical object. Doorbell. You have a look at Ample. Isn't Ample like a peg that can go up in value? And it takes coins from your wallet.
Okay.
When it goes up or something.
Oh, God. Never mind.
Like you do, it goes to like, yeah, it's a bunch of people like that coming in and getting wrecked, you know. So what's gonna happen is a lot, but the few that are gonna actually make money are gonna swim from the mountaintops. Hey man, you gotta get into crypto, man. That shit up 500%, man. Ooh, they coming. Y'all hear me?
Sheriff, the ball pass on the left, bro.
That's what's coming right now. Can y'all actually hear that? Like the Lion King, when Simba was in the little trough, and the antelope was coming, he turned around and hurried him up like.
Oh, what happened?
That's what's happening right now. It's a rumbling. Let these noobs start winning and tell them they other noob friends they got more money than them. The stampede is coming, boy. Are they real people? I don't know. XRP pancake swap, shut the fuck up. Boy, if you don't get. Hold up. Yeah. Man, shut up. Like, you the police. Like, ain't nobody following him though. Like, only smart people following him. You know what I'm saying? People that's been around. Like me, I'll follow him. Like, but let people like get in, learn a lesson, and be a part of it, man, and make money. It's fun if you let it be fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let it be fun, man. You know, you calling the police telling them that you have our party too loud. But this is what happened with what they say. They say when you go to a dog, they dump their bags when you go to kids. Hey man, I had some. I bought some. I didn't know that it was gonna be pumped by them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let them learn that like that way.
You ain't got the game.
He's annoying.
Ultra puff.
But sometimes he's on point. And swap all of him. But when he get on that little shit right there, I don't like him. It made me want to follow him. But he's alright. What up, chat? XRP is slowly going. Which direction? Is it going up or down? Ooh. I would be very, very, surprised if they pump this shit straight up. Because here's the thing about XRP too, I noticed. Let me see. I don't know if I have it on there. Here it is, right here. If you zoomed in on this weekly candle right here, it would be a straight up dump. Straight up dump. And that was locked in with straight up. So I'm wondering if that is what this is right here. Now, it didn't make me low. But this right here, man, it's taking, I don't know, man. That's a very high liquidity coin. I mean, Doge was too, so. I don't think, Doge's liquidity wasn't as high as XRP though. XRP's way up here. So you got a lot, that's a lot of, I don't know, man. Hopefully they pull it off. Hopefully these guys pull it off. They pump this shit to $500, $10. I don't care. And I'm fucking selling. Doge should go through last resistance to 1 cent. Let's see. Doge did what? Oh, this right here? Yeah, man. This shit is going down. Guys, it's in the downstream right here. And then it's pumped higher than it's ever pumped before. Right? It just pumped higher than it's ever pumped before. That's the last support. That's support thing, but I get what you mean though. They broke the last support. That's a good dollar. I don't know if I have a dollar on here. Yeah. We'll throw Doge in here for the time being. I don't usually do this. I don't know, man. It's still too soon. Yeah, this is a downtrend, so you want to treat it as a downtrend. So what might happen is it's gonna get these mugs all the way down, yo. Imagine what's going. This was like, imagine people are buying like, there's a dip, there's a dip, there's a dip, there's a dip, and they start foaming in right here. There it is, there it is, there it is. And they're gonna have another nice dip to the 13. Bounce to the 13 again. Oh, that's the real one. Oh, that's the real one. It's gonna break out. It's gonna break this right here. Oh, that's the real one. And then it's gonna roll over again. That's what it's gonna just fuck with them the whole way down. I mean, it could go up though. If it breaks this right here, it's gonna be looking good. So people might FOMO and buy it, but it just might just be in a higher, a lower high on a higher time frame. So, people are looking at this chart right here. So it might break out up, but once it breaks out up, it's gotta go. It's gotta get. It gotta get above this resistance right here. Gotta get above there. I will say, this is what I'll say to all you Doge guys right now. If you're in Doge, if it gets to here and it doesn't get above here, which is 3.8 cent, it doesn't get above here on the next bounce, get out. It's your last chance. They're giving you one more chance. Don't FOMO in. FOMO in if it starts going up here. Maybe, shit's going. But for the most part, everybody's going to XRP. That's what it looks like. Everybody's going to XRP. So you might want to look into XRP. Say look into it. That's what it sounds like. They got this. It's up to 81,000 people. That's what's going on. But yeah, Doge is. I'm not saying sell. I would say if you're new, sell for a loss. On the next bounce. Not right now. On the next bounce. On the next ride. On the next elevator down. Sell your loss. Take some profit. But don't sell all your Doge. Sell like 90% of it and keep the rest. Because it'll pump again. It always does. Okay? You want to look at the Doge. You want to look at the Doge long-term chart. Okay? Versus Bitcoin, okay? You want to go here. Look, Doge just pumped versus Bitcoin higher than it's ever pumped, okay? And if we look here, we can see. It's very easy, guys. Doge always comes back down to this level. At least it comes down to here, at the very least. You know, it comes into this area, always. So it's going back down there.
Wow.
It's going back down there whether you sell or not. So if you're gonna hodl, just know that it might not go up to here. It might not, and it might come down to here. And maybe take the L, take profit if you're up, which you're probably not. Take some profits, okay, and go into something that's not pumped yet. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like everyone's choosing XRP. That's just what it looks like. I'm not saying go buy XRP because you see what they'll do to Doge, but it's a bull market, so we'll see what happens. Doge, I would say, go ahead and get out of that Doge, man. Doge is proof. Oh, piece of shit. I don't even approve. So I would say, no, Doge is a proof state. If Doge isn't a quick piece of shit, it is what it is, man. It's a coin that you buy low and you sell it high versus Bitcoin. That's what you do with Doge. Welcome to crypto. Come on in, have a seat. Okay? Bro, you better not dump XRP. No, I'm not gonna sell XRP just yet. I'll sell it. Like I'm saying, if they don't pump XRP to, you know, if the XRP chart doesn't look like this by the time they're done with it, then maybe just not even bother. Don't even bother. Just get out of crypto. We don't need you guys. We can do that on our own. So if XRP isn't going to, maybe not that high. Maybe not $50,000. But if it doesn't go up to like 50, y'all not gonna pump this shit at $50, man. Then don't even bother, man. We don't need you. We can pump our own backs just by being crypto, okay? See this work. Robinhood stopping you from selling. Stopping who from selling? You guys, you know the reason why they're stopping you guys from selling on Robinhood? Let me tell you the real reason. They don't have the coins. Because those aren't real coins. Those are like place fillers. They don't have the money for your winnings. They don't have the money. So you need to learn about decentralized exchanges, okay? Peer-to-peer exchanges. Or use one that that is actually using the real crypto. Why Doge is going down, supply and demand. This is so fun. This is so much more fun. It's so much more fun talking to noobs. I might become a noob channel, man. Did I just add this Doge USD? Because it's easy. It's no pressure. It's like, come on, guys. You guys know better than this. Doge, oh man.
Oh, no.
I mean, it could keep pumping. It could keep pumping, but versus Bitcoin, is it gonna beat Bitcoin? I think this was the best you're gonna get for a Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin is the standard, man. Bitcoin is the standard. Yeah, that Doge going on, that Robinhood is not real money, man. You know, that Robinhood is not real money. When you buy Doge on there, you can't really call that Doge. Like, this Doge not, I don't have any more. I sold it. Oh, I have some Doge left. Yeah, I got 100,000 Doge left. Because I think it's going to go down the way. But if it doesn't, I got 100,000 Doge, okay? This Doge right here, I can send it to my other wallet. I can send it to somebody because I own it. You can't do that on Robinhood. Okay? You can't do that on Robinhood. Because it's not real crypto. So when you guys are pumping Doge and they don't even really have that much money to give you to pay you out, which you didn't, you don't really have it like that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna close it down. One of the stages of the ride, Fred said I lost on holding if I can afford to wait for the next Doge. If you're in the red, man, I would, like I said a few minutes ago, I would y'all on the next box. If it doesn't get to above this line right here, which is like 3.8, it's probably not reversing. So there it goes. Still rolling over. Don't panic sell. Don't panic sell right now. Wait for it to bounce. Always get out on bounces. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna sell now, right? And it's gonna start bouncing, and you're gonna be like, damn, it's going back up. I'm buying more. And then when you do that, you're gonna hit a resistance. And it's gonna roll over again. You know. So you don't want to sell into a support. You're gonna sell into resistance on a downtrend. You know, it's just little stuff, you know, that you kind of, even though I don't really even trade, I can just know that that's what's going to happen. You want to trade when it's up, you want to beat your emotions in trade. But up here, it might return and start going higher. That will scare me if those start to like pump again if it gets above here. You know, $38, I was going to say 4 cents. If those get stuck above 4 cents, and I'll be like, oh shit. I'll be right behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. Consider buying it back after it retests. But, you know, 4 cents is good. Like, we are under a penny. You know, even then, if it went that fast, I wouldn't buy it. But if it did something like this, if it played around, if it held it, put it like this, if it bounces from here, right, it starts to go up and makes a higher low, and then it gets over here, I'll be like, okay, you stop falling, all right, let's see if you can keep holding this low right here. And if it starts making an uptrend, and they get higher, see this high, higher.
These YouTubers pay me $1. Again.
Bob Bizarre, what's the chance of my reaching that hard BTC or everything's gonna go. This is a bull market like everything, like it feels like everything's gonna It's a good project. From what I learned, I haven't used it, but from what I understand, it's good. Those break out again will hit. Yeah, like if this breaks out again, we don't know. It's price discovery, right? This is price discovery, so it's gotta show that it's flooring. This right here, all of this, you can read all this stuff. All of this is telling me it's in a downtrend on the hourly chart. This is a downtrend. But check how I know this is a downtrend. It's going down. Higher, the lower highs, right? It's going down. You got lower lows. Going down. Now, what it's on is coming down to a support level. So what the chart tells us is every time it hits this line, it bounces. So if you sell right now, there's a pretty high chance you're gonna regret it. But it might break lower. There's always that chance that it breaks lower. But the trend tells us that it touches this and it bounces. Gets rejected, touches this and it bounces. And then it might break this right here. So it has to break this, which is pretty much this 30. It's deep, man. It's pretty much this moving average. If it breaks above this, it will start showing some strength, but it's still not bullish until it gets above this right here. So don't get excited about Doge until it gets above here. Until then, sell that shit. Take profit. XRP won't pump because it has no support. Yeah, man, that's a really good choke, a really bad coin. They should have done something that everyone loves, like Ethereum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can pump Ethereum. We can pump Ethereum, nigga. That shit's right at resistance. It just takes a little push. Pump Ethereum or something, man. Pump Bitcoin.
XLM.
Appreciate the 5. What do you think about XLM? Izzy, let's see. XLM. Not XLM, yeah. XLM. It's been a while. I haven't been in a long time.
All of my XRP is on Coinbase. Any secure apps that are trading, I can easily transfer over.
Hold on, I got you.
To.
I got you. Oh yeah, XLM looks good. It's making it nice. This is what you want to see. You want to see it chill out. You don't want to see it breaking below here. And if it keeps on, if the market keeps doing what it's doing, it's going to break out above its highs. It's already pretty much above this right here, but this is the real high right here. I mean, as much as I don't want to say. This should have an older chart than this though. For sure. Let's see. XLM. XLM. Next. Oh yeah. This thing was 75 cents. You know, my new thing that I've been saying the last 24 hours is take profit, but don't sell all of them until they're above here, 75 cents. From my understanding, is all certain altcoins always go past their all-time high. Like right here, this one's done it so many times. Here. I mean, the trend is your friend. The trend says it keeps pumping out of nowhere, goes up really crazy high, and then it calms down and makes you think it's over, and it does again. So it might do it again. All of my XRP is on Coinbase. What's up, Ian? Any secure apps that are trading, I can easily transfer over to. Not sure what you mean. I would say if you want to hold your own XRP, Exodus is cool. But you gotta be careful because when you own your own crypto. So make sure you write all your keys and stuff down. Check Satoshi Street backs on Telegram. Voting for coin pump in 2 hours. Vote. The XRP, I wouldn't vote for XRP, man. I would vote for something that's you guys should consult with me. Tell them guys to come to me if they want to pick a coin. You want to pump something that everybody's already bullish on. You were mad bearish on XRP, man. I don't know. Got a lot of sell pressure on your heads, boys. Pump Tron. What else? What else has that sex appeal? Tron has sex appeal. I would say sell Ethereum, but it's probably a lot of bad holders in that too. You probably get a lot of money from Ethereum. Dash probably be easy to pump. You gotta pump something down here. That ain't got a whole bunch of bad holders that's old. Something old that's been proven. Dash, you probably pump Nano. Of course I'm only naming coins I have. But I have them, that's why I have them, because I think they're gonna pump.
No way, dude.
Yeah. XRP, they might be able to do it. Hex, I mean, that'd be hard though. It'd be hard for them to do that. I thought about that, why they should pump Hex, but you pump Hex, man, you have to tell them how to download MetaMask. It gotta be something that they can get to easily. Is Dash on Coinbase? I don't think Dash is on Coinbase. Maybe Ethereum. They probably pump Ethereum, man. GRT. It gotta be something that's on Coinbase. Because that's where people can get set up at. And Coinbase probably, they might not have enough. They're shutting down trading rooms. Wow. It's really a war out here in these money-making streets. You talking about a Clubhouse or a Telegram? They're shutting down. Yeah, I've been live for 2 hours. It's a fun day.
Oh.
choose to buy this green when it's hard to buy in the US and it has large. I don't know, man. I mean, they pumped GME. How much volume was that? How much volume did GME have? Let's check. Let's see how much volume that was doing. I don't know if I know how to. Let's see. $500 million what shares? That's volume, man. It's still up there. Yeah. That shit a new high. I mean, of course, right? Uni. Word. Oh, it is. Nice. What's going on, man? A couple hours. The market's changed. You know how crypto is. It's good up. Take up 8%, eating up 21. And a kebab. Doing real good. Up 52%. BGX. Up 41. Oh, my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's on there. EOS up 9%. What? EOS. I got some too. You got some work to do there, buddy. You'll get there. You'll pump. I believe in you. Right, pump EOS. You can pump that shit. There ain't nobody holding that shit, you know. What's the volume at? I don't know, it's 2.9, man. EOS. I bought my Voyager, man. I'm so high up on Voyager. I should sell some. I'm up 1,261% on my Voyager. I think you don't even believe that. Sub, no, though. Sub, no, I've been bought that shit a long time ago. Bought it on December 16th. Zcash, straight up downtrend. How to find the pump and dumps. Oh man, that's where we at in crypto. That's what y'all just coming over here and just saying where the pump and dumps at. Wow. Yeah, y'all gonna pump the hell out of my bags, huh? Man, that's what's up, bro. Get a bunch of Bitcoin. Yeah, you might be. I didn't even buy that low. Like, I bought it pretty low. But he was laughing at me, like, he was like, man. XRP withdrawals, where experience later withdrawals, I see. Who was that? Nick? 666 watching. Yeah. Defeat that beat. Dogecoin going to go up again or not. I will put my money on not. I put my money on not by selling. Do you have any Doge? Hey, y'all hit the subscribe button, man, if you're new here, man. I do this every day. Every day, and I've been out here every day for the past 5 years, man, doing crypto. 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. XRP will touch 50 cent. Yeah, it's possible. Not a lot of sell pressure though. Because they have massive jump. It's the hour. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's got a lot of sell pressure. Charts, it's possible, like that. Anything is possible, right? But most people that would probably look at this chart would say this should look ugly as fuck. Like, very rarely do charts make swing highs and then make new lows. Like, it just bleak on the way down. Like, I've never seen anything like that. The good news is it's got some that earnings, right? Like, so, this is a weekly time frame too. So it's got resistance all through here. So here's the level of resistance that is right here. If XRP gets above this right here, we'll win. It's probably trying to turn around. That way it'll be easier for it to make a higher low. It needs to make a new low, a higher low. To turn around. I don't know where it's gonna do that, but it needs to. I don't think it's gonna be some straight trip up. Now versus USD, they're still the same thing, like this is very ugly. Let me delete this. Like it was looking good before the mess. Now it's just like, So, let's look at Doge. See back on Doge. Where's Doge at? 70 sats. You definitely want to look at sats. 69. Let's go to a smaller time frame. Look at that. Broke below it. So now we move this to here. There's your bounce. Like it's not bouncing. There's so many people selling. So I made a new low. I don't know, man. Doge, I would say, you ain't sold by now, man. Well, you're a bag holder now. Welcome to crypto. Yeah, ZRX looks really good. Like there are some coins they could easily pump if they just looked at the right charts, man. Yeah, Tron holding up good actually. Tron held that dip. Let's see how I can do it. See how I done with this right here. It's trying. It's trying, boys. It's trying to pop. There should be a week on those.
Let me see them shitties like dollar TRTL.
Shitties. Let's look at it. Man, I need a shitty shirt. Y'all seem to like that word. TRTL. Turtle coin? Oh my goodness. What in the hell? What? No, man. I am not buying turtle coin. You're a bag of, yeah, welcome to crypto, man. If you're holding Doge, come on in, have a seat, and learn the lesson. Buy low, sell high. It might take you about 5 years to finally figure it out, but buy low, sell high. Okay? If you want the more advanced stuff, come check out my members. Click join button down below if you want to see more advanced stuff. But this is officially a new channel, guys. This is officially a new channel, yeah. We're gonna taste the news, we're gonna usher them in, take their bags, hold their bags for them, hold their hands, and we're gonna secure them into the next round bag holders for the next cycle, Drake too can do what we're about to do, which is take all their money. Like and subscribe. Patience to be here every single day, guys. Thanks for coming out. Don't get wrecked out there. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Have you pooped yet? No. Be a good boy.
There we go.
Be a good boy, okay? Shake. Yeah. Shake. Yeah. Oh.
He just woke up. He's a little excited.
No, you're so excited. You have a good nap, huh?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna eat and then take him to sleep after. Want to see Grandma?
There's no need to stress. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online or over the phone.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks.
Lee, it's good to have you here. Thanks for being on.
Nice to be with you.
Let me just get your broad perspective first of what you make of the whole GameStop situation as you've been watching it unfold for these last couple of weeks.
Well, Rob referred to the casino environment, and I think he's on the right track. What's going on is no surprise. Prior to the virus hitting, the number of unemployed people in the country was at 5.7 million. That ballooned to over 23 million. It's now dropped to about 10.7 million. It's very clear that the Fed and Congress is pulling at every stock to get employment back to where it was pre-virus. So they create an environment of free money. We have no commissions anymore. There's a brotherhood. We have an administration that is spending money like drunken sailors. Not been critical. The only person I'm really critical, to be honest with you, is Powell. Because when he says that the stock market is not expensive against interest rates, he's leaving out the second part where interest rates are ridiculously priced. You know, if interest rates belong at near zero, you're not supposed to make more than 2 or 3% in the stock market. So I think what's going on is a logical consequence of zero interest rates, zero commissions, and very similar to fiscal policy.
So are you saying that so it's partly the Fed's fault for putting a lot of gasoline on the fire over the last many years, but also I sense you're suggesting, tell me if I'm wrong, that you think this is part of a broader populist movement, perhaps, created by the very environment that you just talked about the Fed instigating, if you will.
I'm not critical of what the Fed is saying is doing. I'm critical of the dialogue. Greenspan was early when he referred to irrational exuberance. The market is very, very pricey. We have been pulling forward demand. The outlook longer term is more questionable. And I don't think the Fed is giving any indication to the public that that's part of the picture. So I would say that I understand what's going on in the market. This is not going to end well when it ends. And the bigger question is, when does it end? I don't think it ends soon, but I think it will end, and will end very badly for the public. Whenever you run into the S&P, the current multiples, the 1 year, 3 year, 5 year returns, is very pedestrian.
You've said in the past that, where it was different instances, we weren't talking about the GameStop situation, that it was with a quote-unquote end in tears. There are a lot of tears being felt throughout the business that you made your living in. And I'm curious to get your reaction to this notion of this uprising, a revolt, if you will, against the hedge fund community. The activity that took place in GameStop and some of the short funds, just this general idea that we're sick and tired of watching hedge funds make all of this money, hedge fund managers make all of this money. Whenever they don't get money, the government bails them out. They craft the banks crashed the system in 2008 and got bailed out, and the quote-unquote little guy got left holding the bag. I mean, how do you react to that?
To a degree as well. Listen, in 2008, Bernanke figured out he had to rescue the economy before it down the toilet. He figured out the best way to rescue the economy is to create wealth. Because wealth leads to consumption. The best way to create wealth is to take the stock market up. The trouble with that is 80% of the stock is almost 20% of the people. okay? And so what they did subsequently is they created a negative real return environment for savings, so you had no reward for being prudent and saving money. And that's what we're doing now. We have a new administration in place. I did vote for President Biden. I felt that I voted my bag and not my pocketbook. But if you listen to what President Biden has to say, basically they're going to raise taxes on the individuals, they're going to raise taxes on corporations, they're going to raise the capital gains tax rate. It's not going to be user friendly, you know. And I don't know that they're going into hedge funds per se, but
well, there was definitely some of that, right? I mean, there was definitely some of that. You could see it.
I've been doing this for 55 years. I can tell you the short sellers, generally speaking, are more knowledgeable than the long players. Because they understand if you're wrong on a long, as it goes down, it becomes less of a problem in your portfolio. If you're wrong on a short, it becomes a bigger problem in your portfolio. They tend to be very careful, they're very smart, and if I had to guess, I've never met him in my life, I've never spoken to him, but Gabe Plotkin will have turned out to be right in his view of GameStop. And the only surprise to me, to be honest with you, in GameStop is why they have not used this ridiculous price to raise the cheap capital as Elon Musk did in Tesla or the guy that converted his AMC.
Sure.
Did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and more? So what are you waiting for? Captain Ahab to help you find a parking spot?
Seagull! Loading zones are to the northern Oxford, there be spaces as big as whales!
We are here in Omaha, Nebraska this morning with Warren Buffett, the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He's just released his 55th annual shareholder letter to shareholders over this weekend. And this is actually the 13th year that we are now in Omaha talking to him after that letter. This is a show that we call Ask Warren, so that people can write in their own questions to Mr. Buffett after they've read that shareholder's letter. But obviously this morning, given the news, there are a lot of other questions that people have concerning the stock market. Let's jump right into it with Mr. Buffett, who is here with us right now. And Warren, thank you for being here. It's good to see you. I want to talk about the letter. Obviously, one of the things that you touch on in the letter is when people should be buying stocks. We're going to dig into a lot of it, but when you're looking at the futures down about 818 points this morning, I think probably the first thing viewers want to hear from you are your thoughts on what's happening with coronavirus, if this is a reason to panic, if you are worried about this.
Well, I don't know I have any special thoughts beyond the news on the coronavirus. The very first day I bought stocks was March 12, 1942. And the stocks were down about 2% that day, as it turned out. Unfortunately, I bought in the morning, so when I came over the evening, at that moment, execution price was down 2%. If you're buying a business, and that's what stocks are in businesses. In fact, people would be better off if we say, I bought a business today, not a stock business, because I give them a different perspective on it. You can only get to buy a farm, you buy a apartment house, you buy a business, you don't own it for 10 or 20 or 30 years, and the real question is, has the 10-year or 20-year outlook for American businesses changed in the last 24 hours or 48 hours? And we're gonna, you'll notice many of the businesses we own, partially own, American Express, we've owned it for 20 years, Coca-Cola, we've owned it for 40 years. But those are businesses, and you'll buy or sell your business based on today's headline, and it would give you a chance to buy something that you like, and you can buy it even cheaper than it's your equivalent, basically.
Although there are a lot of people who look at the market and they say, look, I want to buy, but I don't want to buy when the market's sitting at new highs and it's been hitting new records every day. Maybe it's off 800 points this morning, but maybe there's more of a decline to come because the effect of the coronavirus is going to be an impact on the global economy. I have said that over the weekend. You are going to see weakness as not only China, but other countries try and address this. You're right, it may not change things over the 5 or 10 year span of things, but if I think that I can buy something for potentially 10% cheaper, maybe more than that if I wait a week or a month, maybe that's what I'm sitting around for.
Well, if you think that, then you're going to get fabulously rich if you're right. All you have to do is just keep buying in 10-day intervals and keep taking your 10-day predictions. If I I knew what the buyer was going to do, obviously, but you know, I don't think anybody knows what the market's going to do. I think you know whether you're making an intelligent purchase at a given price. Everybody, when they buy a stock, if you're going to buy, say, General Motors, and they have $1,400,000,000 shipped out, you should be able to take a yellow pad like you have there, and on one page, say, let's say it's selling for 30, it didn't sell in that moment, that'd be $42 billion. You should say, I am buying the General Motors company for $42 billion because, and you should get it on a piece of paper. And then if you want to have a separate piece of paper, it says, I think I know what the stock market's going to do, so I know whether it'll be higher or lower, but you don't. You don't have that.
No, but if I worry that the economy is going to slow down, not just for the quarter, but for the year, that would impact how many cars I think they might be able to sell or even produce.
I'll guarantee cars are going to slow down someday. In 1932, General Motors had 19,000 dealers. That's more than all the auto dealers in the United States today. There are over 225 million people there, but they had 19,000 dealers. They produced or sold, it was 1 month, I think, when they sold less than a tenth of a car, right at a tenth of a car per dealer. That was a terrific time to buy General Motors. and forget about the market. If you can break the market, you don't just read balance sheets, you don't need to read anything. You certainly can't predict the market by reading the daily newspaper, that is for sure. And you certainly can't predict the market by listening to me. But you're buying businesses. And if you plan to buy a local service station yesterday and it was closing today, I don't know if you tear your hair out or anything like that, you'd have already looked at where you're located, the contract that have with the suppliers, and it's sitting on competition. People, because they can make decisions every second in stocks, whereas they can't with farms. They think an investment in stocks is different than an investment in a business or an investment in a farm or an investment in an apartment house. But it isn't. If you get your money's worth in terms of future earning power over the next 10 or 20 or 30 years, you have made a good investment, and you can't take it for you can do that. Well, I haven't done it yet, but you know how to do it.
You made a point of that in the letter this year, where you highlighted a book that was written by Arthur Warren Smith back in 1924. And you said until he came along, nobody really realized the compound interest effect of buying stocks, not just buying businesses, but buying stocks themselves.
Edgar Warren Smith changed the world at that point. People have forgotten all about it now, although in the 1920s it became more about gospel as the boom went on. But Edgar Warren Smith set out to write a book on bonds versus stocks. And he said he went in with the idea that bonds would be a better investment in times of deflation and stocks would be a better investment in times of inflation. And the first line of his book is to say that he'd been wrong. But he had enough sense to look at his evidence. And I think Darwin said if you found evidence that was contrary to what you already believed, write it down in 30 minutes and you're blind to get my book, you're wrong it out. People have a great resistance to evidence. And he said, if a stock yields 4% and a bond yields 4%, which is what he was talking about then, the stock is going to outperform the bond because there were retained earnings that were going beyond that yield. And that has been true for a long, long time, but nobody paid any attention to it. We don't get rich on our dividends that we receive all we happy to receive it. We have good stuff. I'm glad that the retained earnings are used to build new earning power, repurchase shares, which increases your ownership in the company. And Berkshire is retained earnings. That's the only reason Berkshire's worth a lot more is the retained earnings.
That led Keynes to actually say that this was an important book. People paid attention to it. You're right, it added to the frenzy that built up to 1929.
Well, that is true because if you look at old boss Ben Gray and Tony Berger early on, you get more trouble with a good idea than a bad idea. Because a good idea works. I mean, it's a good idea to buy a home, for example, and then people go crazy or something. A good idea works, and it works. Stocks work out better than bonds most of the time. And after a while, people forget that there were some other limited conditions. With Edgar Warren Smith's book, if you look on you, the same as stocks, which was against them, the stocks are going to outperform because they have this retained earnings. The stocks started going up in the 20s, and all of a sudden they were selling at 5 or 6 times the price of this one multiple. And the original correct perception on his part and experienced changing conditions, but people just looked and they got the confirmation for the stock prices. And people, that's what happens in bull market. People start out thinking stocks are cheap, and then they start thinking stocks are going up. And a stock can be a good buy or a bad buy. A bond could be a good buy or a bad buy. It depends on price.
But that leads us to today. I mean, if this premise was that stocks are always going to be a better investment than bonds, that's kind of what you hear today, which we've been hearing for a while, is, there is no alternative, right? You have to buy stocks because bond yields are so low, because interest rates are so low.
Well, if you look at the present situation, we talked about this before, you get more for your money in stocks than bonds. That doesn't have to be the case. But it's usually been the case, very usually been the case. And if you buy a 30-year bond today with the yield 2%, you're paying 50 times earnings for an investment, but the earnings can't go up for 30 years. Now somebody said, I'm selling the stock was at 50 times earnings, the earnings can't go up for 30 years. And said, that doesn't sound very good. It sounds way better than 30-year bond. I mean, that's clear. And that's one of the alternatives people have. People really have 3 basic alternatives. Short-term cash, which is an option of doing something later on. Long-term bonds or long-term stocks. And stocks are cheaper than bonds.
Charlie said recently, Charlie Munger, vice chairman at Berkshire Hathaway, had his daily journal meeting just a couple of weeks ago. And at that meeting, he said that there's a lot of budget excess out there and that there's a lot of trouble coming as a result. Do you agree with that?
There's always trouble coming. There's trouble coming in. That's what you do when I bought that first stock, all kinds of trouble. Double dips will go fall pretty soon. And there's all kinds of trouble in 1949. There was trouble with, certainly trouble in 2008 when I wrote an article for the New York Times. I said trouble is coming, but I said buy stocks.
Would you repeat that this time? If trouble's coming, would you still say buy stocks right now?
I would say buy stocks if you get enough for your money. And, we buy a few stocks, but we don't look at, we're not buying the stock market. We're saying, I am buying ZRX Express, we own American Express, there's 815 million shares out, and sells it. It's 126 or something like that. So it's selling for roughly $100 billion. Now the real question is whether the company's worth more or less than $100 billion. It isn't what the stock is going to do tomorrow or next week or next month.
You said just a few minutes ago when we asked you on Worldwide Exchange, right now Berkshire Hathaway is a net buyer of stocks. You are in a net buying position?
We've been a net buyer of stocks. Well, I've actually been a personal net buyer of stocks ever since I was 11 every year. There's been 15 American presidents in my lifetime, more than a third. I lived under a third of the life. I didn't buy stocks under Hoover. I was only about 6 months old then, but there have been 7 Republicans after that and 7 Democrats. I bought stocks under every one of them. Now, I haven't bought stocks every day. There have been a few times I thought stocks were really quite high. And you've written an article once or twice up, but that's very seldom.
But you wrapped up your partnership at one point.
I wrapped up my partnership.
Because of that, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
But this is not a time like that.
We own $240 billion worth of stocks. Now, we look at that as $240 billion worth of businesses that we own parts of. But I love owning those businesses.
You've also got more than $125 billion in cash sitting around.
Yeah, well, we'd like to buy more businesses.
We are here, Warren, with you at Berkshire Hathaway's headquarters building. This is upstairs in the room that's called the Cloud Room. And this is a room where you often take students to kind of talk to them about questions they have when they come to visit you. You also have some other things up there too, other presentations.
Yeah, I had students there for dozens of years, and for many years, 40 schools would come in. They'd come in groups of 8, and 5 days a year. They come from all over the world. We had them from Peru, we had them from China, we had them from Israel, and we had a good time always. Again, I've given it up now. I started teaching when I was 21, and when I got to about 88, I thought, nah, I'll take a rest.
Well, there are a lot of questions that are coming in from viewers that have been getting here today. we're waking up this morning looking at the stock market indicated down by almost 800 points for the Dow. We're actually off our worst levels of the morning, which is something to say when you're still looking at the Dow down by about 786 points. But people have a lot of questions about the economy. They're wondering what's happening right now, particularly with the coronavirus out there. You have a lot of economic data at your fingertips because not only are there many businesses that Berkshire owns, but the businesses you own pieces in. What are you seeing right now around the globe?
Well, it affects various businesses. I would say that I receive commentary. I get some commentary monthly from almost all of the companies, and a good many of them had some comment about how it was affecting them and how it was affecting them. At that time, I'm sure it's accentuated. But they were affected by tariffs, they're affected by taxes, they're affected by, the most thing is they're affected by competitors and supply and demand over time. And I don't have the faintest idea what our businesses will be doing 6 months from now or 12 months from now. I do think that not only our businesses, but American business generally will be doing fabulously better 30 years from now or 20 years from now. And the long term is very, in my view, is very easy to predict in a general way, but in an important way. I don't think there's any way to predict what the stock market will do 10 minutes from now, 10 days from now, or 10 months from now. So I'm working on what I think I'm able to do, and as desirable as it might be to know what was going to happen 10 minutes from now, that's just not something I'll ever be able to master. So fortunately, I can come to a pretty firm conclusion that 20 or 30 years from now, American business and probably all over the world will be far better than it is now.
What are the momentary implications that you've seen from coronavirus? What's an example of a business?
Well, an example, we have maybe 1,000 Dairy Queen franchises in China here, and they're just treat only, so they're the older type companies food. But a great number of them were closed, but the ones that were open weren't doing any business to speak of. And Apple is a good, our much bigger holding is Apple. We own 5.6% of Apple, and the company came out and said that it's affecting not only its stores, but all kinds of supply chain. And I find that certain of our companies have got supply chain arrangements that are being affected by this that I didn't even know I had these.
Like what?
Well, I got one from John Pandel the other day, for example. You wouldn't normally think of that as having supply chain, but Shaw Carpets or you name it. I'll guarantee you that a very significant percentage of our business is one way or affected by, but they're being affected by a lot of other things too. And the real question is where are those businesses going to be in 5 or 10 years? They'll have ups and downs. Our candy business is a wonderful business, but it loses money 7 months out of the year. But the nice thing is Christmas comes every year.
When you look at the economy and how things were kind of chugging along, let's say, beginning of this year,
yeah.
when things first picked up, how would you gauge the U.S. economy at that?
Well, it's strong, but a little softer than it was 6 months ago. But that's over a broad range of it. If you look at car loadings, rail car loadings, that's moving goods around. And there again, that was affected by the tariffs too, because people front-ended purchased all kinds of things, a lot of vehicles. But the business is down, but it's down from a very good level. So I would say that looking at our 70 businesses, and that actually, they represent hundreds in addition. They're a little softer. On the other hand, I was out with the fellows from the Nebraska Furniture Mart this Saturday night, and their business was up quite a bit in February. That's because weather was good. So yeah, a lot of variables. But yeah.
Why do you think business was down, let's say, the last 6 months? Is it a decline in confidence, or is it coming off of levels where there was unusual activity ahead?
Well, it isn't really down. It's just it leveled off and a little softer maybe now. But well, tariffs. The tariff situation was a big question mark for all kinds of companies, and still is to some degree. But that was front and center for a while. Now coronavirus is front and center. Something else will be front and center 6 months from now, and a year from now, 2 years from now. The real question is where are these businesses going to be 5 and 10 and 20 years from now? Some of them will do sensationally, some of them will disappear, and overall, I think America will do very well. It has since 1776.
But you still watch things like rail car loadings very closely.
I watch everything. but I don't do it to make specific investment decisions. But I I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I also don't think that I can make money by predicting what's gonna go on next week or next month. I do think I can make money by predicting what's gonna happen in 10 years.
All right, well, tell us more about what's going on, just since you like knowing about those things.
Well, as I said, you know, certain businesses have been on weather to a wider extent in retail, for example, in given months. But the big trends you see are going on. I mean, in terms of movement to online commerce, and I mean, the big stuff keeps moving. But we've got a big investment in the airline business, and I just heard, you know, more flights are canceled and all that. But flights are canceled for weather. It so happens in this case, they're going to be canceled for longer because of if you go on airline for 10 or 20 years, you're going to have to look up and down in current business, and some of it is weather related. There can be all kinds of things. The real question is, you know, how many passengers are they going to be carrying 10 years from now and 15 years from now, and what will margins be, and what will the competitive position be? But I still look at the figures all the time. I'll admit that.
You mentioned the airlines, and you own stakes in all the major airlines. Not as much as Delta. I think you own north of 11% of Delta at this point.
Well, our largest position is in Delta. 3 of the 4 positions are mine. One of the positions is one of the other fellows, the 4 positions. But we own a very roughly close to 10% of the 4 largest airlines.
There's been a lot of speculation. In fact, some of the questions that came in over this weekend were questions about those airlines, wondering if you would buy any of them outright. Have you considered buying any of those companies outright?
It'd be very unlikely we would do that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's complicated.
Why?
Well, for one thing, they're regulated, and there's an interplay. I'll just give you an example. Not that we'd be doing, but with Delta, we own 18% of American Express, and American Express is a bank holding company, and bank holding companies have limits as to what they can do, and we're a passive holder of a bank holding company with American Express, but we own an airline that was tied up with them. They have lots of arrangements. There's a lot of complications because it's a regulated industry. Anytime you get in a regulated industry, you have more complications in transactions.
So is it fair to say you like these stocks and you would own more if it wasn't complicated?
Well, to go beyond 15% in any company, we have to go in hard scalability. You know, I mean, there's a lot of rules as you increase your ownership. Obviously, almost anything we own, we don't own more of.
Are you buying more of any of those stakes right now?
Apple, right? I get pretty close mouth when it comes to other life. Jaws lock up. But it's fair to say that anything that we own, we like. There's very few stocks that we own, and I look at them as part ownerships in businesses. There's very few that are selling at some price where I would sell them a little higher.
All right, well, let me ask a question that came from Tony Dickinson. He said, in the fourth quarter, Berkshire sold 55 million shares of Wells Fargo. Should shareholders view this as a lack of confidence in the new CEO turnaround plan, and what is Warren's future outlook for Wells Fargo?
Well, I won't give him any advice specifically on Wells Fargo, but it's actually true that we've sold down our position. Some of it was sold down to avoid being over 10%, because then you do have some filings and so on. But
we sold well more than that.
Yeah, we've sold well more than that.
I think 8.4% was the last.
Yeah, that sounds right. And we've sold Wells Fargo in the fourth quarter. We sold it earlier.
Can I ask why? Only because I did get a number of questions.
I can understand it, but we just don't want to give any advice on what we're doing, because I can change what I'm doing tomorrow. We talk about everything except we don't give stock advice.
Okay. I'll try one more from Tony Dickinson, just because I think I got 15 or 20 different questions on this. Berkshire owns $32.58 billion of Bank of America and $17.39 billion of Wells Fargo. One position's been increasing while the other's been decreasing. Does Warren like Bank of America twice as much as Wells Fargo, and how should shareholders view the holdings?
Yeah, well, I think they've seen that we bought Bank of America, we sold some Wells Fargo.
All right, let me ask you a broader question that comes in just on interest rates.
Sure.
The impact that might have as well. Varun Jane writes in on Facebook, hi, I'm a huge fan and student of Mr. Buffett. Please ask him what impact does the zero interest rate environment across places like Japan and Europe have on their banks, whether the business is still good, and does the prolonged low interest rate regime in the United States hurt the prospects of American banks like JP Morgan, etc.? And in such circumstances, do Indian banks, which have high return on equity, look attractive to Mr. Buffett?
Yeah, well, I can't comment on that. But generally speaking, with a lot of, but there are a lot of other variables too, but the banks are going to make more money if there are higher rates with a steeper curve. And with the curve makes is more important. In other words, the 10-year versus short-term rates. They make more difference than the absolute level. But American banks have made very good money with very low interest rates. Around the world, if you look in the UK or Europe, Japan, even lower rates have made it pretty tough for banks. The returns on equity are not as high, and they have to use more leverage to even get the same returns, and I don't like that as well.
If you are talking about the curve that we're looking at this morning, the 5-year, 2-year is inverted. 2-year 10 is not right now, but the 10-year is below 1.4% this morning.
And the 10-year 1.4%, that means you're paying 70 times earnings for something that can't increase its earnings for 10 years.
Okay.
Now, if somebody came to you with a stock and said, you know, this is a terrific stock, it sells at 70 times earnings a year, and it can't go up for 10 years. You'd say, well, explain that to me again.
Right.
But no, the answer is we've never seen a situation like this in the world, literally. I mean, you can go back and read Keynes, and you can read Adam Smith, you can read, all the great ones, and they don't talk about negative interest rate. It never cost their mind on the supply when they had all these marginal costs. But brilliant economists never really anticipated that you would have negative. You got 13 trillion or something like that worldwide at negative interest rates, and we don't know what that means. We've got a lot of people who speculate what it means, but 10 years from now or 15 years from now, we'll look back and say, well, it's obvious what would happen under that, and we'll see it. But it is not a normal situation, and well, interest rates are the basis of all value. I mean, if you knew interest rates were going to be zero for 100 years, you would think 1% was a great rate to return. But you also would know if you bought something that was yielding 1%, or that was what it paid, and rates went to 8%, you lose practically all your capital. So it's an enormous factor, and we don't know the answer. Central banks don't know the answer. All we know is that it's been useful in simulating things, and particularly asset prices, now for 10 years. And what we thought was temporary in 2008 and 2009 in the way of monetary policy to stimulate, we just put up the gas even further. The whole world has.
You made a point in the letter of saying that you don't know how long these interest rates will last. You and Charlie never trying to figure these things out. But we did have St. Louis Fed President Jim Bullard on the program last week, and he said that he expects to see these low interest rates for a long time to come. That does raise a lot of questions, if that happens, about what this means for the stock market, what that means for banks, what that means for insurance companies, which you touched on in the letter too.
It's bad for insurance companies, but it's good for stocks.
Bad for insurance companies, and what happens to insurance companies as a result? Are they getting more?
Well,
some insurance companies have
the ones that really get hurt on are either life or annuity companies that have promised returns. The property casualty business doesn't promise returns. It still holds money, so it hurts them. But if you promise somebody an annuity that's paying 3 or 4%, and now you find that you're reinvesting your money at 1% or something, you're going to disappear.
Are insurance companies being forced to make riskier and riskier bets?
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, the answer, if you get 3% and you're only getting 1%, the answer is to quit giving 3%. It's not to try and get the one up to 3 and do more dangerous thing. you should always adapt your consumption to your income. You shouldn't try and adjust your income to your consumption. That's a basic principle for individuals, businesses, and everything else. And reaching for yield is really stupid, but it's very human. I mean, I understand it. People say, well, I've saved all this money all my life and I can only get 1% out. What do? The answer is you learn to live on 1%, unfortunately. And you don't go and listen to some salesman come along and tell you I got some magic way to get you 5%.
Do you think, though, that's what should be happening? Do you think that there is more risk taking place in the insurance markets?
And you see that in they call leveraged loans and weaker covenants and all. Those people are reaching for yield, there's no question about that, and that's stupid. And it has consequences over time. But it's very human.
Consequences that could have a big market impact.
Depends how far it goes. Yeah. It's something that things that get built in slowly, people going crazy in tech companies in the late 1990s. It can take a lot longer than you think, but eventually you get to midnight and everything turns to pumpkins and mice.
Yeah, that's the downside of low interest rates. Pensions, savers, anybody who gets left in a raw position of that. On the alternate side of things, if rates were to rise rapidly, or maybe not even so rapidly, what does that mean for the federal debt?
Well, it depends on the average maturity of the debt, but our maturities are fairly short. They've gotten lengthened. But if you take 20 trillion and you're borrowing at 2%, you've got 400. You've got 2 trillion, 200 billion. You got 40 billion of the expense, but if it goes to 5%, you got 100 billion of expense. I mean, not 5%, you got a trillion of expense. I'm sorry. We are benefiting enormously in our national budget by the fact that interest rates are very low. And so interest costs has not gone up as you would have anticipated if you were looking at the scene 20 or 30 years ago with the increase in national debt. Austria issued 100-year bonds, but 2% or thereabouts, and then it's gone way up. Not maybe they yield 1.1 or something like that. I don't know whether or not. But it's great if you're a borrower to have to keep money. I mean, everybody should refinance their mortgage.
Is that an argument for the Federal Reserve, or I'm sorry, for the Treasury Department here, issuing longer notes?
Well, yeah, but I would have said the same thing 5 or 6 years ago and been wrong. But if we, under the present slope, it still would cost more to lengthen it out. But you're lengthening it out at very, very low rates. And it would be what I would be inclined to do if I were Secretary of Treasury. But I missed a lot of bets in the last 10 years too.
Warren, again, for people who are just waking up, they're tuning in and they want to know what you think about this sell-off this morning. To see the Dow down 700, 800 points in the morning, what's your reaction when you see something like that?
Well, my reaction is that I like to buy stocks, so I don't wish ill on anybody else, but I like to, if they want to sell them to be cheaper, I prefer it. So if that's a roughly a 3% decline or thereabouts, I don't know how many 3% declines I've had in my lifetime, but there have been a lot of them. And I can't think of one that you shouldn't have bought on. Basically, that doesn't mean stocks are going to go up or down next week or next month or next year. But if there's something, if you like to own American businesses, you're getting a chance to buy it 3% cheaper. I don't consider that a lot cheaper. I mean, but how can it be bad news unless you have to sell stocks? Now, if you have to sell them for some reason, you're worse off. If you don't have to sell them, I mean, somebody can come around and offer you a quote on your house today, and it could be 2% less than they offered you yesterday. But if you like the house, it doesn't make any difference to you.
Does that mean Berkshire will be buying stocks today?
Well, we certainly won't be selling, and yeah, we could easily be buying something, sure.
Let's talk a little bit about Barron's cover story that was just out last week. The good news on the cover story is they think that Berkshire is worth more than it's selling for right now. The bad news is they said they think that's in part because it's got a big conglomerate discount, and they think if you weren't running it, that it might get broken up. What's your response to that line of logic?
Well, conglomerates have had a bad name, and for good reason over the years. And I closed my partnership up at the end of the 1960s, and there was a very abusive run in conglomerates where they played with numbers and they had dirty pooling, as they call it, of accounting. They wanted to have their stocks up and put out stories to do it so they could issue more stock. Every kind of chain letter arrangements. And there've been a lot of bad conglomerates, and probably disproportionately so compared to the sort of honest to God single industry businesses over time. We don't think we're that kind of a conglomerate. We certainly never wanted to issue shares. We've never touted shares. And it's done for business reasons in our case. The interesting thing is, of course, the American public has been going wild in their enthusiasm for conglomerates in the last few years, if you think about it. I mean, it's been an incredibly popular area. But they call them index funds.
Oh.
You buy 500 businesses.
I figure out what you're talking
Yeah, well, 500 businesses all put together. I mean, that's the ultimate conglomerate, isn't it? I mean, I've recommended index funds to lots of people, and when they do it, they're buying into 500 businesses. And they're going to have 500 businesses a year from now and 5 years from now. They think that group of businesses will do very well. And I think our group of businesses will do okay.
The difference with an S&P 500 index is it's 500 different companies run by 500 different management teams who are all focused on their business, maybe not having a centralized operation that is loosely running all of those businesses.
Our businesses are run by separate people. We just finished Valentine's Day. I did not select what Easter wedding boxes. and it's been probably been 10 years at least since I've been to a season camp. Every now and then I get everybody, but I don't know how to make chocolate. Think of the sort. I don't pick out the new locations. We have managers for our businesses that are very much like the managers we have for the businesses that we own. These are like American Express, like that. There's a couple things we can do. We can determine the dividend policy of our subsidiaries. We can control the capital allocation to some extent, but not most capital allocation, whether buying or equipment or anything like that, they make the decision. The BNSF railroad is going to spend $3.5 billion. I don't approve a single dollar of that in terms of capital expenditures. They know what they need to do, what they need to pay for economic development, whatever it may be. So our managers are, I would say, in a sense, they're almost more independent than the managers of the S&P 500 who go around and report to Wall Street week after week because of investor relations meeting, and they're always explaining what they're doing and trying to get the approval of the analysts and all that sort of thing. And we just tell our managers to do it makes sense.
Okay, outside of the idea of not having to report to individual shareholders or the investment community, what's the advantage of having capital allocation?
Well, we can move capital within. If you move capital from one stock to another, then you're going to gain. You're going to pay a tax, and maybe a dividend tax or so on. But there's a lot of taxes incurred in moving from one business to another, either at the corporate level, in some cases, but certainly at the individual level. And we can move capital, well, just as Seeds Candy again, we won that in 1972. We moved several $1 billion from the candy business to other types of businesses. And we love it. We can use them all in the candy business, but it just isn't that sort of business. And in addition to that, we free up our managers from all dealing with Wall Street, the bankers, all kinds of things that are what I regard as less productive use of their time.
However, you also have a situation where you have gotten some activists who have been interested in the stock, including Bill Ackman. He's built up a stake, hasn't said too much about it, but I think he has made some comments about how maybe Burlington, Northern Santa Fe's margins could be improved. If you look back at Bill Ackman's experience with the Canadian Pacific Railway, I kind of wonder if he's building up a position because he would like to see it take more active role.
Well, we notice what other railroads are when their margins are better. I mean, and we sort of put way less pressure on the Wall Street line. We would want it next week, but our managers are well aware of what's going on in other decide how much they distribute, where the capital moves, and sometimes it moves from one industry to another. And in certain industries, a consolidated tax position really is very helpful to us.
There's a viewer question that came in from Ben Constant, and he asks, it was recently pointed out by Bill Ackman that some subsidiaries like Geico, BNSF, lag their peers in some areas. Would you agree with that? And how can your successor push improvement in subsidiaries while maintaining a decentralized management structure?
Well, at Geico, we bought control in 1995. We had about 2.5% of the market for auto insurance, and we're at about 13.7% of the market. So we've gone from $2.5 billion of premium volume or thereabouts to $35 billion premium volume. We're number 2 now at State Farm. We were number 6 or 7 that time. So I would say that not due to Berkshire at all, but due to Tony Nicely during almost all those years. Geico's been the envy of every other company in the auto insurance business, except for Progressive. That they've done a good job too. But Geico is worth tens and tens and tens of billions more than when we bought it, in addition to all the earnings we got, just the goodwill value. So that's been extraordinarily well done. And with Burlington, I think we paid a dividend of $5 billion last year. We paid $35 billion for it. So it's gained in market share in its business. Its operating margins have improved, but they haven't improved as much as some other railroads.
Do you believe in precision scheduling railroading?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we've watched it plenty, and
for those who don't know what that is, it's something that kind of irritates customers because it makes things a little more rigid, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it makes the customers adapt to the railroad more than the railroad adapting to customers. And practically everybody's done it. A fellow named Hunter Harrison was enormously successful.
He worked with Bill Ackman at the Canadian Pacific.
Yeah, he worked with the BNSF, if you go back far enough. And there's a book about him, it's very interesting. But he did it at the Illinois Central, the Canadian National, the Canadian Pacific, and then he was going over to see the sex. He developed a method of railroading where the customer does adapt more to the railroad, and it improved margins dramatically. Our margins are close to what the better railroads, well, there's only a few that you get from precision railroading. Other than we've gained share.
Because the customers don't like
because the railroads apparently, or the railroad customers like us better. And over the long term, we'll see. But it isn't like it's something we can't do.
And here's the latest on the coronavirus. China reported an additional 150 deaths and 409 new cases overnight. South Korea raised its coronavirus alert to the highest level after the number of cases there ballooned from 31 to more than 750 in less than a week. Stocks in Asia falling overnight. Hong Kong's Hang Seng fell 1.8%. South Korea's Kospi fell nearly 3.9%. Shares of South Korea's 2 largest airlines down as they canceled flights to the city of Daegu, where many of the new cases were detected. Meantime, Italy's government is scrambling to deal with the biggest outbreak of the coronavirus outside of Asia. Stocks there were lower overnight. The government placed at least 10 towns in northern Italy under quarantine and canceled the last few days of the Venice Carnival. Elsewhere in Italy, schools, museums, universities, and cinemas were closed, and major soccer matches were canceled. At this point, Boris Johnson out earlier today, and is saying that the risk to UK citizens just over there remains low. I would say that our officials would say that here too. The risk to US citizens remains low. But there's a significant difference between supply chain disruption, slowing dozens and dozens and actually hundreds of companies.
Absolutely.
And that's dampening global growth. What worries me is that we don't know, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. If it ever gets to the point where we start to see that in a lot of countries around the world, these breakouts where they don't even know the origin of some of these, and if they multiply like that, that's when I think it could really get. At this point, it's still a global growth slowdown. Nobody in most of the world is worried that they're going to catch coronavirus and they can't go out, they can't go to the movies or the health club or to a restaurant. But I just wonder, we don't know.
There are major travel that's being changed right now. Conferences are being canceled. There was an article in Time magazine speculating whether the Olympics in Japan over the summer will be canceled. So there's real implications here that could reverberate. Having said that, the farther we get to the spring, the better it gets in terms of weather. There's a whole sort of how the flu,
I was looking at some of Jim's tweets earlier. If you go too far with the fear and the panic, you're accused of one thing. If you don't go far enough, you're accused of the other thing. So we really just need to sit here and each day report on the facts and try to remain attached. But there's something about a pandemic that just is different than other black swans. It's a frightening prospect. Anyway, that's good. Right back to our guest of the morning. Warren Buffett joins Becky in Omaha following the release of his annual letter to shareholders over the weekend. And Becky, you took a plane. I mean, it's in the back of our minds, is it not? It's just in the back. There's nowhere. And the risks are low.
It goes back to 1918. It goes back to 1980. If you look at the numbers of what happened in that pandemic when it came around the globe, up to 50 million people were killed in that. It was a third of the planet's population that was infected. It was 500 million people that were infected at that point. 675,000 Americans died at that point. So inevitably, your mind kind of goes back to what's happened in the past, because as humans, we always affect the history to try and predict the future. It doesn't always work. It's not always prophetic, but it does give you something of what to kind of play out if this were to get worse and worse. Now, Andrew brought up the idea that it's warm weather. We're approaching spring in a lot of parts of the country, or a lot of parts of the planet. That may be good news. We just don't know if this time around, if this is one of those viruses that does die off in warmer weather. Wait and see and kind of hope.
Yeah, actually, I think there's, from what I've heard from people that know a lot more about viruses than I do, that unfortunately this will make it through the summer, and in terms of having a vaccine, it's a long ways off. So it is scary stuff. I don't think it should affect what you do with stocks, but in terms of the human race, it's scary stuff when you have a pandemic.
Yeah, I guess this one's particularly frightening because it's new. So there's no natural immunity that's built up in any of the populations. And you wonder what happens, particularly in areas where there's not the same healthcare structure that we have in America or in some of the developed nations. I guess it's a big part of the question too.
Yeah, and well, I think about it in terms of rational eating. I mean, which is May 2nd. I mean, it could very well affect, by that time, it could affect.
We've got questions from viewers asking just that. Will the annual meeting be any different this year, particularly because you have a large Chinese contingency of shareholders?
And that certainly will be affected. And incidentally, I mean, flu is particularly tough on old people. You're going to have two guys on the stage whose combined age is 185, so we won't be looking for people that are showing any signs of contagion. But that's one of the problems with this, is it does have a long gestation period,
right.
And it's highly transmissible.
And again, you did talk about it earlier. It's something that you see in the results of the businesses, even some of your own fully owned businesses that you didn't anticipate.
Well, airlines, for example. It affects businesses now. Actually, my dad used to tell me a story. He was 14 in 1918, and he told me what went on in Omaha during the big epidemic. I mean, it was something in those days, and pandemics will occur in the future. Now, what they hope to get is a universal flu vaccine, but that's a long way off. It is impossible. I asked my own science advisor is Bill Gates, so I talked to him. I talked to him the last few days about it, and he's bullish on the long-term outlooks for a universal prevention of it, but so they're not going to come, not going to be there in 10 years.
What are Bill's concerns as somebody who spends a lot of time traveling around the globe, as somebody who is trying to help medicine in some of the less developed parts of the world?
Yeah, the Gates Foundation is very active in trying to be helpful on this, and Bill says the CDC is the best in the world. And I mean, we've got terrific resources in this country, but a pandemic is a pandemic, and there's just no evaluating. But I have heard that the summer is not likely to cause the end of this.
Do you know why?
But I don't know, and you know, you shouldn't be asking, I shouldn't be offering my opinion on it, because I pass along things I hear from people I think are smart, but
I'm actually asking for Bill's opinion, not yours.
well, I shouldn't really report, but he's the guy I am, and I didn't talk to him last few days ago, and he loves the one guy, and he didn't make it talk about his dad, which is quite good. I forget about that.
Is money going to the company to find investment?
Sure, very.
I mean, the biggest more than you know, Europe has pushing resources out here in China.
I don't know that. I don't want to talk about that. But I know that is something they always best is that they're very strong.
Let's talk a little bit about Berkshire Hathaway. We were in the middle of the conversation, we'll get a little break before, but there has been this question raised, not only by parents and places, but by other places too, about whether Berkshire Hathaway would be worth more if it was split up.
That's a good question, and I will tell you that if you were to say, and let's say the stock market has changed for 2 years, the interest rates didn't change. So yeah, a 2-year period, and you said, we'll sell off all the businesses. I don't think, I mean, friends who are selling them. Now, if you sold them all the people who leveraged them up to their maximum, you might get a little more than the stock is selling for. It would be very tax inefficient, very tax inefficient. Interestingly enough, up to 1986, it wouldn't have been. I mean, there was a general utilities doctrine that governed corporate breakups, and so you could dispose of businesses or securities, if you did it right, you could dispose of securities or businesses that had appreciated without a tax at the corporate level. That was done regularly in various ways up till 1986. They revised the tax code big time. They killed general utilities. You can't do that now. Now you can have spin-offs, this business or that business. You probably have to lie a little in terms of your purpose in order to get the best tax ruling. And it takes time, but you cannot break up, you cannot dispose of the entire business, business by business, without having very substantial tax liability. It would not produce a gain. On the other hand, having them together produces, there's some very valuable synergies in there. Now, we don't use leverage as much as the people who would buy them piece by piece with you. So we could leverage Berkshire up to the sky. I promise people we won't, because we have insurance promises of people out 50 or 100 years, and we've got shareholders who are going to hold the stock for 50 years, and they do not want us to leverage to the sky. But there would not be a profit if we were simply to announce that over the next 24 months that we become in by any business we had, we'd sell it to the highest.
You made a point of talking about this in the annual letter. You said, key to my Berkshire-only institutions is my faith in the future judgment and fidelity of Berkshire directors. They will regularly be tested by Wall Streeters bearing fees. At many companies, these super salesmen might win. I do not, however, expect this to happen.
That's exactly true. And by writing it, it helps a little too. No, there's no question that Wall Street would want to come along and sell everything we've got. Every time there's a transaction, and they're big trees and big trees dramatically. So we got all kinds of people super around that thing. They know they're not going to double take it. They won't get some of the properties. I agree with every share of Triangle share is 99%. That's what's going on. Nobody here is going to lie to about that. Most money. Look at this philosophy over there. Over the years, and that's what we pray for the 50 years. And I say to them, all in Berkshire, when I thought that it was going to run, what it was like to Wall Street, I would put it instead to something else, and have the money distributed with you.
Do you think the people who are newer, relatively newer shareholders, buying new shares, have the same mentality as people who have been in for 50 years?
What we try to do is absolutely encourage. I mean, in effect, we don't want everybody to buy. There's only so many seats. There's about 1,600,000 and some thousand A shares out. All the seats are filled. I love the shareholders we have. I don't want to go to Wall Street and try and get some new shareholders to replace the people we have. So, what we want to have is people in those seats that are in sync with us. You can run a French restaurant or you can run a hamburger stand. And if you serve good hamburgers, you do good business there. Understand? You can, the French restaurant do the same thing there. But you can't run the French restaurant and serve hamburgers inside. You can't run the hamburger stand and serve French food inside. So we advertise in our deeds, in our words, in every way we can what we're about. And we're looking to have the seats filled in our church by people who are in sync with us. And we do have them there. We have the same people every Sunday. And I see no advantage in going out and telling everybody in Wall Street we're going to do wonderful things and having those seats replaced. Because the only way you can get a seat is to throw somebody else out of that seat. There's only so many seats and they're all full. And you want them filled with people who are in sync with the policies of the company. And therefore you have to explain those policies and you have to live up to those policies. And for 55 years we've tried to.
So you get the shareholders you deserve.
Exactly.
All right, not to mix metaphors, but can you have a decentralized central office running both the French restaurant and the hamburger place?
Well, we're not trying to have the railroad management run the utility here.
We're decentralized, that's what I mean, a decentralized headquarters that's in charge, a conglomerate in charge of all those different businesses.
Well, we could run, look, we have decentralized management as it is. We could have somebody in charge of all the little companies, another one for another big, we could visualize it in all kinds of ways. I think we'd have more overhead. I think we'd have a different sort of manager who manages like their own businesses. And they never have to finance their businesses. You know, they never have to go to Wall Street. They probably save 25% of their time. And I want them to feel they own their businesses. And that's all they're responsible for. If we mess up some other way, you know, they get paid based on how they do. There again, we attract managers who like to operate on that basis. We don't attract managers, particularly who think they're going to keep moving step by step through various divisions and eventually run the whole place.
But one of the things that people wrote in, a lot of people had questions about the banks, about what's happening with the banks, what you've changed with some of your investments over time. Jason Goldberg writes in, he says, please ask Warren about his views on the bank stocks in general and on Wells Fargo in particular. Over the last 2 quarters, he sold almost a quarter of his longstanding Wells Fargo stake. Also in the 4th quarter, he dumped a third of his Goldman Sachs shares, although he still owns over $75 billion in bank equities. So what do you think about banks? Not necessarily the sell-off today because you don't look at day by day.
Well, banking is a good business if you don't do dumb things on the asset side. I mean, basically. It's a business that the banks we own earn between, the commercial banks earn between 12% and 16% or so on net tangible assets. That's a good business. It's a fantastic business against the long-term bond, at 2%. You have a choice between a 2% instrument and a 12% instrument, which was going to win over time. So if you ask me whether I think banks are going to do that, whether they only earn 3 or 4% on tangible assets, I don't think that will happen. The question is really whether they do something massively dumb. I mean, periodically a number of banks have done it. I feel very good about the banks we own. They're very attractive compared to most other securities I see. And most of them are buying, Bank of America is buying in a lot of stock every year. So our ownership of the Bank of America this year probably will go up 7 or 8% without us spending a dime. I'd like to own any business, any good business where my ownership is up 7 or 8% every year without spending any money, and on top of it I get a dividend. So they're very attractive, both against interest rates and against bonds and against other stocks, in my view.
You say occasionally they do dumb things. Maybe you're talking about Wells Fargo with the scandal that it had. It just settled on Friday with a number of the regulatory institutions that were kind of looking into it, the investigations that were taking place for $3 billion.
Yeah.
Does this mean that they have kind of finally gotten through that and can move forward?
I don't know the answer to that. I know that they made $3 billion because it was nuts. I don't know what else is outstanding. But Wells Fargo is classic in terms of one lesson. My partner, Charlie Munger, he says, whenever we have a problem, you attack it immediately. He says, an ounce of prevention is not worth a pound of cure. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. And we've seen that time after time. And the interesting thing, and I don't know the details at all, but the original thing was a whole bunch of phony accounts. Now, I don't know how, if you open up a couple million phony accounts, you make any money on them at all. I mean, the shareholders didn't make money. People say, well,
The incentive structure was set up so that some of the employees.
The dumbest incentive system you can think. And as soon as you can devise dumb incentive systems. We've done them ourselves. I mean, you can cause people to do the wrong thing because they will do what they're incented to do. And they had obviously a very dumb incentive system. People started playing it in various ways. And the big thing is they ignored it when they found out about it. I mean, you're going to do dumb things in business, and we do them every day, but you absolutely have to attack a problem as soon as it occurs, and you know about it. And if that had happened, Wells Fargo shareholders would be a lot better off. But Wells Fargo shareholders did not profit from opening up accounts that were phony accounts that had nothing in them. I mean, somebody was getting paid so much per account, and the practice spread. Because bad practices do spread if they're allowed to spread, and they were ignored, which is a total disaster. And look at the consequences. So 2 or 3 years later, who's paying? The shareholders are paying for something that didn't do any good whatsoever.
Is that why you sold off some of the shares?
No, not specifically.
I know you don't want to get specific on
Yeah,
why.
no, I'm not recommending what stocks. People have to make up their own minds on that.
I want to ask you a question about Todd Combs and his new role at Geico. I got several questions that came in from that. Let's just use this one from Peter Lampros. During last year's interview on CNBC, after the 2018 letter was released, you were asked about succession at Geico, and you mentioned that at a recent meeting at Geico, you met about 40 of their top executives, and after each introduced themselves, they stated their length of time with the company. The shortest was 19 years. Please explain why none of these 40 top executives were qualified to take over as CEO after the retirement of Bill Roberts. Again, that's Pete Lampros from Chicago.
Bill Roberts took over not even 2 years ago. And he's done a terrific job in connection with Tony and I. I mean, Geico is my first love, absolutely. And I tell the other companies that you compete for my second love, but you can't compete for my first love, which is Geico, because it goes back 69 years, and it did wonders for me. Anyway, Geico, Bill Roberts took over for us 2 years ago, and then in either October or November last year, he said he'd like to retire in a year. He would adjust it in any way that made it easiest for us. And we did not have the person, in my view, to replace him at that point. And Todd Combs has worked with Berkshire now for 10 years. He actually was a product manager at Progressive in the past, and he knows a lot about insurance. Insurance is probably the only business I know something about that we're in all the rest of them more confusing. But I understand the insurance business to some degree. Todd understands it very well at the operating level. And so Todd is there, and I hope very much that he's not there very long, because I'd like to think back home. But our intention always is to promote from within, and we would hope to pick out the right person at Geico. It isn't that there isn't somebody there, it's just you want to have the right one. Because when you put somebody in, you're going to keep them there for
Don't suggest Todd is not going to be there.
I don't think it's not about the private market, but actually he is not really for leadership. So I don't know how long we'll be there. We have one important problem, which is, which all insurance companies have, but Progressive has done a better job of managing, correlating or risk with rate, and that is what we're focused on now.
Correlating risk with rate.
In other words, having the proper rate.
Right, charging the right amount.
Charging the right amount. If you were in the life insurance business and you thought that 80-year-olds have the same life expectancy as 20-year-olds, you'd have a big problem. And what would happen is you'd write all the 80-year-olds and somebody would write all the 20-year-olds. So in auto insurance, the same thing. There's a vast difference.
Auto insurance, I'm not sure, I might prefer the 80-year-olds.
Well, you might, I would prefer the 80-year-olds to the 16-year-olds. I mean, and you prefer the 16-year-old female to the 16-year-old male. There's a whole bunch of things. So you've got to correlate. You really got to segment risks, and that's enormously important. And every company's trying to do it better all the time. We do it far better than we did 50 years ago. But we have room for improvement on that. We're focused on that. And in the meantime, we're going faster. We're gaining market share. Geico is a fantastic.
Have you seen pump right there?
Todd's job is to focus on that, but it's also to work himself out of the job very, very quickly. And
Louis, yeah, hello.
definitely is perfectly to work himself out of the job with.
I go back there. Look at the pump. I got in 2060, I think, something. Look at the pump right there.
How will he be able to run Geico, manage a $13 billion investment portfolio, oversee Haven, and be on the board of JP Morgan?
Yeah, well, that's.
Hey, Louis, what's up? You see right there? I got in right here.
Oh, sure.
It pump. Oh man, I need to sell some.
And you know, we're working 70-hour weeks.
Hey, look at that, perfect, huh? I got in, what's that, 2060? 2162, something like that. Look at the pump.
We learn over decades.
You can pump, guy.
It is not something that you have to sit there day by day and do. People do it that way. But there are many years where if I just left the portfolio entirely the same and didn't make any changes, we'd be better off. So
What's that, 64?
that's not a lot. But
I got 1,000 coins, something like that.
more than he's going to be a very busy guy. Geico's the top priority, but it isn't going to stay the top priority for a long, long time.
All right, let me run to another question that Max 0205 wrote in. Have Todd Combs and Ted Weschler outperformed the S&P 500 since they began working at Berkshire? Why don't you disclose the record?
Why don't you
disclose the record?
Well, we're not disclosing. I think it would be very unusual.
I'm cut some pomelo in my house.
Sales last year among their salespeople or anything like that. I think they're entitled to work.
And fighting with my bee.
Our directors know how they do. I know how they do. We made a lot of money with them. I feel very good. I feel very good about them in all ways. But we're not going to tell you how much each candy.
Come on.
Sees candy.
Why so slow?
The top person at any place brought in sales or whatever it may be.
All right, let's jump to Berkshire's overall record versus S&P. Berkshire has now underperformed the S&P 500 on 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and 10-year marks. Is that because it's too big, and will it ever be able to outperform?
Well, certainly being too big is part of it.
Warren Buffett, yep. Let's see. Man, I'm supposed to sell some right there, all the way to 68. You see, you guys, I trade right here, I buy here, and look at this, breakout right there. What's up?
Ồ, không thấy ra đủ trời nắng đều quá mà.
Thì đang livestream chơi Bitcoin chậm nó ra.
Ồ, giờ đang livestream hả?
Yeah.
Đấy, bữa có vô game stock không?
Game stock biết rồi, thấy đứng đó, tao đứng tao đó. Tao khó lại, vì tao đang kẹt lên vô cái thằng BTC á. Tôi kêu người đây mua. Mà về nó không bán, nó tao cũng qua tao bán lại hay xong.
Cái thằng Nokia đang...
Tao có Nokia mua 500 xe cho vui.
Nokia của...
BlackBerry nó không thế, nó đang livestream để nó bán sao mà chạy ra. Mày ngồi đó hay là làm à?
Không biết cái không được tí này.
Thôi. Ok, được. Oh, yes, I see. I'm busy, that's why. It's supposed to sell 68. Make 80 bucks in 10 minutes. It's okay, it come back. It tried to break out right here, 65. See my line right there, it break out. Look at this, man. $63. Everything's slow.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping many people with type 2 diabetes like Emily lower their blood sugar. A majority of adults who took Ozempic reached a
Hey, fellow buddies, thanks for watching. Alright, I have a big money over video for you.
She cannot upload. It's too slow.
And I have some good ones coming your way. So definitely stay tuned. I have 28 photo items that sold faster on eBay. They were cross-posted on Mercari and Poshmark. So let's get started. Some good stuff here. And yes, I know my hat's crooked. That's how I like it. Everybody's like, why is she wearing a hat like that? All right, the first item.
Pump new high.
Up at a thrift
GRT.
$10, and I sold it for $124.99, and the buyer paid shipping. So this is Possible Dreams. They make figures also, but this is like a rare. I looked up a YouTube video on how it hangs and it like spins, and then the propeller on this thing like moves. It is pretty cool, but
Sorry, break out.
sold it for $124.99.
There's a break new high right here, guy.
I auctioned it. I was hoping to get another bid, but I'll take it. The next item I sold is this Lego Bionicle, and some of these are
It breaks 65, I hope.
some of these are bolo, are bread and butter bolos. Definitely look them up. This is complete, no instructions, no box. It's retired. I sold this for $85 and the buyer paid the shipping. I picked this up in a bulk lot of Bionicles and Legos, so I don't have much in it. I can't tell you an exact dollar amount because I still have tons to list and I haven't broken it down. So the next item I sold, I have a funny story about. I posted this on my Instagram and I tagged it with witch or vintage witch or something like that. And somebody came in and they were kind of telling me that it wasn't worth what I had it listed for, and I was like, well, I sold one that didn't work for like $60-some, and they continued to like argue with me and tell me how horrible I was for being a reseller. I'm sure you guys have had that from time to time. So I just blocked them, deleted the comments, and moved on. And the item they told me was worth $25 or $30. I sold it for $70, and the buyer paid shipping. So that person was wrong. He probably wanted it, probably didn't want to pay it, and hates resellers. It's a vintage, hard to find item. So I did add a video down in the description of the video, and I put that on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to learn how to
This is a big cup and handle too.
you can check that
And break here can go 75.
YouTube channel. I have a link, a video that tells you how to do that. So I sold this for $70. The buyer paid shipping. I picked it up at a garage sale for $5. And I think I sold that after Halloween. The next item I sold is a Brooklyn Bunny, and if you guys have been on my, like around for a while, you know how many of these I sold for big money. These items, I think what did I have in each one? 30 cents? It was something crazy. I got like the deal of a lifetime on these. Maybe it was less. I think I talked about it on what I paid for them and how many I got, and showed you the different ones on Trying to Find Treasure Hunters channel. The thrift battle between Donatello and I. So go over to Primetime.
63 right now.
Battle. I should probably just put the link to that in the description because I reference it so much. But I sold this for $95 and the buyer paid shipping. The next item is this ceramic owl nightlight, and I posted this on my Instagram as well. My Instagram is bolo_buddies_resellers. There's a link down in the description. But from time to time, I will share a screenshot of items that I sold. So it's another great way to learn about bolo items that I sell. Somebody's like, how did you...
I can make 5 cents right there. See, I did not take it.
I kind of looked at comps and I priced it high. I sold this for $50.
This can come back here.
And the buyer paid shipping.
Or maybe right here, 62.
There was a part of me that kind of wanted to keep it, but there was a bigger part of me that would rather have the money. So the next item I sold is this Charles Pratt 14-count cross-stitch blanket.
Okay, let it go 65, I sell. If not, I just hold.
That somebody was looking for it. And Donatello Bolino has auctions, YouTube auctions, and she does buy it nows and auctions for you.
So why not moving? She
One
fucking shit.
of the things that Donna always says is somebody is looking for this, and she'll hold up like a stuffed animal or something. But the first thing I saw when I saw this was somebody is looking for this. And I sold this for $40. The buyer paid shipping. I picked this up in mystery box.
I think I ever too low.
The person messaged me and just told me how garage sales. I think I had these in a big Thomas the Train lot, and I just kind of worked my way through it. I sold this for $43.99 and the buyer paid shipping. The next item I sold are these Lane Bryant Dreams. I sold these for $39.60 and the buyer paid shipping. And the reason I'm showing you this is because you guys all know how much I hate clothing. Well, I have that whole closet full of clothes, and I have been giving stuff
I think
to a
take
gal.
forever to load. Fucking shit,
And
man.
I had some plus size jeans, and I'm like, you know what? I think this is a good time to list them. And I sat down and I made myself list jeans, and I'm glad I did because most of them are selling for $30 to $35 a piece. So, you know, retail arbitrage. I picked them up at a discount store, probably have between $3 and $5 in them. So, definitely an item to be on the lookout for. I pick them up at garage sales too, but this was a retail arbitrage. The next item I sold is this lion. He's a misfit toy. He's a King Moonracer from Rudolph and the Island of Misfits. And I sold this for $38 and the buyer paid shipping. And this was from a garage sale where I bought a whole table of Christmas stuff. So I probably had like $1. Okay, this one's fun. So Cashmere Bouquet. I almost said boutique. Bouquet. It's a beauty soap. It's 3-pack. I picked this up at a thrift store. They were $1.50.
Pop up back already right now. Look at this. Oversold, guy.
For a total of $49.28.
Look at it. There's a beautiful breakout right here.
The next
Boom.
item I have is this Ceramica
Look at this. Get in right there, all the way.
It's like a figurine. Yeah, that's what I want to say. But it's called Ceramica Excelsius. I'm probably saying that wrong. Anyway, you can see it. That's
Well,
what
this
it
one
looks
take
like. Definitely be on the
forever.
lookout. I got a whole set of these, and they are definitely a low. I probably have less than $1 in this, and I sold it for $57.19. And I sold another one, and I think I'm sold out. I mean, I might have one more left. They sold really well. The next item is this Micro Machine Star Trek. I picked this up at a thrift store for $9. I did pay up for this one, you guys. And I sold it for $55 and the buyer paid shipping. It's a Micro Machine Star Trek. It's a collector's set. It's new in the box. And it's vintage. Okay, guys, Avon. I have a Bolo Avon category video where I tell you Avon items that sell for big money. Yes, there are still a few out there that will sell for good money. So go check out that video because you can find Avon at garage sales all the time. This one came from a mystery box, and I sold it for $36.90, and the buyer paid shipping. It is a beautiful fiber optic angel, and I love fiber optic stuff. So, pretty cool. The next item I sold is this another vintage tree topper, and she's an angel, and she is beautiful. I picked her up at a thrift store, and I just had to pick her up. I knew she was going to sell, and I knew she was going to sell fast. She is so pretty. Look how pretty she is. I love it.
Okay. All right, I'm done, guys. See you guys later. I go to sell it later.
She's amazing. Amazing. The next item I sold is this Smurf, Escape from Gargamel carrying case play set with tons of extra toys. Let me show you here what it looks like. So this came from a garage sale, and I got all of this. I'm going to say I had probably $5 to $6 in all of it. I took a best offer of $140 and the buyer paid shipping. The next item I sold is this heavy brass reindeer stocking holder, and I sold this for $77.
My computer upload like take for effing ever.
I sold 4 more of these over on Poshmark for $90 each. I'm sorry, 2 for $90, and then somebody bundled 2, so they got a discount of $80 each. And then I sold one. I sold it too cheap on eBay before I knew that they were like flea markets and estate sales and stuff like that. He did pay $50 for these, and he sold it for $152